Ever. Just be working on my cars.
And I think that was the fastest your live little click over ever. Wait, Ben's already saying you win? No, you don't. Ben doesn't win.
He won to the first comment, I think.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
He did not. No, because I have to say thank you, Mile High, for being the first to chat, as well as the $5 super chat.
Nice.
Yes, very much so. Thank you for that.
I should have grabbed
Thank
my
you.
tablet to track the messages in case someone tries to say something.
Oh, right.
Oh, I can do that on my second screen. Hold on. Let me pull up YouTube on there.
So while he's doing this, we've got, no, let me restart. Oh no, let me restart. Welcome to Saturday night, y'all. It is 8:01 Pacific Standard Time, over in Oregon and down in California and all over the place. It's whatever time you are. Oh, FYI, it's, what is it? It's daylight savings time at 2 a.m. So
Ew.
Forward.
I hate that
Spring
so
forward.
much.
Okay, but let me ask you this really quick though. Okay, does it matter anymore? Even with the whole government thing, does it even matter right now? Because do you actually have a watch that you have to set the time on?
Just like on the microwave and in my
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it,
Microwave,
right?
Vehicle.
Everything
about it.
else adjusts automatically.
Yep.
And that's all it is. That is
It's
all
just-
it is.
I don't know. Like, hopefully that thing where we give it up goes through because it seems kind of pointless. Although I don't know, I do kind of like when it's daylight out at 9 o'clock. It's kind of nice.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Ben, Jose, all my clocks in my house. but like it's literally like the microwave. And that's the only one. Like that's the only
Maybe your
actual
oven.
clock that I have to. Yeah, and the oven. Okay. That's the thing. All right, welcome to the Drift Show, RC Drift Show, talk show thingy, that we still have not named. Which we might need to come up with a name soon enough.
Yeah, we should probably come up with a name that's more than RC Drift Talk.
Well, I know that there's an RC Drift Talk show over like across the seas, but I don't think they pay attention to us. So that is that.
Or we could you guys can take the whole RCDC, RC Drift Chat, and
No.
then have Japan just like shit on all of us.
What are these Americans doing? No.
Well, you see, we do whatever we want around these parts.
Whatever. No. Respect to RCDC because that's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up soon too, right?
Yep, that is coming up soon.
Okay. So we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna introduce ourselves. I'm Adam. Logan's in the corner. DJ the Spleen Machine is here in the house, fresh from Arizona, and we've got Albert.
Straight off the plane.
So we'll introduce Albert a little bit later, but we're gonna hop into just our normal to-do things. So to start off with, Logan, can you tell us who won Tandem Tuesday series?
Your boy did. I got it.
Your boy
Bag
did.
secured.
Yeah, congrats on that, man. Saw the videos. Oh man, really good win.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice to have a couple more people at the last event.
How many were there?
It was still only like 9, but like Judd went, so
Yeah, threw an oddball. Throwing a
little
couple
more exciting.
oddballs and it makes it a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that was a good series. It got closer than it needed to be towards the end, so made it a little more exciting, and it was fun. Probably start up another one next week, I imagine.
Right on. Same amount of rounds.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 8 is kind of a lot. Definitely keeping the 2 drops system, I think, because it's a weekly event, so it's a little bit harder to get out there every week for everybody. So
Gotcha. So you were first. Who was second and third?
Let's see. Kenny got second, and our boy DJ got third.
Okay. See, I didn't know because second and third trophies look like the same height, so I couldn't tell from the picture. Are they different heights?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think. Maybe not.
I don't know. I think they're all the same height.
All
I don't
right.
know.
So
Anyway.
always Tandem Tuesdays, always trying to keep it up, make it a little bit better for everybody, which is funny because I'm talking about it and I can't go to those.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that would be a little bit hard for you to get there.
Let's see. First annual ProTech RC PDX Drift Series presented by A-Main Hobbies. Tomorrow is the finals.
Yep. Tomorrow's final round.
Finals day.
First and second place are kind of already locked in, but there's a few of us fighting for that third spot, so it's still going to be an exciting round. We're going to be short Justin and James, so that's two of our heavy hitters as far as drivers go right off the gate. So
Well-
it'll be a fun opportunity for some other people to take a shot at winning one.
So Justin's still here, right? He's just not competing.
Yes, Justin, because he's already secured first place, he's coming out just to judge, which is very nice of him, so that Judd can compete. And Judd's driving great too, so this one is probably, to me, the most interesting one, just because it's not a question of who will face Justin in the final.
Oh, and the thing with Justin's win is he gonna bring out his new RDX that he's been using, or he didn't win with the RDX in the last round, right?
No,
Not the last time
he still had his shark thing.
Oh,
The Shardy
Yeah.
The Shark DX. The Shark DX, yeah.
Shardy X.
Hopefully he gets to drive it. That would be nice. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We always run out of time.
Well, I think
But
the main
maybe-
difference on his current rig right now is just the transmission, right? Because he's still pulling DDSS up front, and
Yeah.
then
Yep.
Kansai V2 chassis, and now the RDX transmission.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool to see. Okay, regular things, $20 for the competitors out there. Member pricing is $10. It is only DRPs tomorrow, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you can still run the Rev D tire.
So DRPs or ASO1s
Yep.
is still there, and there's tire availability at the shop itself. So
Yes, plenty of tires at the
if
shop.
you need
Jose.
tires,
Don't worry, Jose.
you're fine.
There's plenty of tires.
Okay, I feel bad for Jose because he got wrecked that one day.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
like-
all in good fun.
It is all in good fun, but man,
It's like asking someone to buy you socks at Target. Like, man, they got socks. It'll be okay.
I mean, okay, but I'm pretty picky about socks. Like, it's kind of like tires are different, but don't buy other people ties. Never buy a gift.
Sure.
Never buy a tie as a gift. They'll never wear it.
There's plenty of tires available, so we're good on that front.
Cool.
Also, at PDX, this is kind of a new kind of rule change that's happening. Is we are going to be requiring lipo bags for charging.
Oh,
from
yeah.
now on.
I think everyone saw that post that one hobby shop went up.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it safe. I mean, a lot of us have already been using lipo bags, but just make it an official rule now. Like, keep them in a bag.
Oh, yep.
There
And
will
actually-
be people, and this sparked a hot debate, a lot of hurt feelings. There will be people that have been basically qualified to unplug unsafe
Yeah.
batteries.
We got a battery police squad for sure.
Oh, man.
And if you don't have a lipo bag, they are for sale at the shop too.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Bring
bags
them in.
available in the shop still. Yep, and I have a couple extras if you need one too.
What are they? Which ones are they?
They're ProTech.
Cool.
There's the ProTech like single, little small rectangular ones, and then like the bigger kind
Like the
of
envelope
flat
looking.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Jose, what do you mean? How do I apply? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, moving on. To April 12th to the 14th, the Northwest Model and Hobby Expo in Monroe, Washington. It is the last expo. Oh, for the LiPo police. Gotcha. Okay, so if you haven't been to the Hobby Expo, this is the last one for who knows how long. So if you want to be there, be there. I have already booked my hotel, so I'll be coming up after Beetlejuice. Probably catch dinner with y'all and hit up Sunday for the last day. And I'll probably do some more interviews and all that fun stuff. I might not even bring a car. I just might bring my camera. If you're interested, the Sky Valley Inn over in Monroe, that's the Best Western over there. That is pretty much the hotel that you want to check into. It's really close, literally like a 5-minute drive on the highway.
That's where all the parties will be.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's a Red Robin or there's some restaurant next door too. So food's covered. Import Expo, we still haven't heard anything about that, but it is in the Oregon Convention Center. I'd imagine that they're still there. June 8th is slammed enough at the Expo Center, which I just saw Roy do Slammed Enough over in Hawaii, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And moving over into October 4th, 5th, and 6th at Super G Worlds. And then I'm going to Knott's Berry sometime that week.
Okay.
Skipping on Disney, just go straight to Knott's.
Dude, I don't know, because like I want to go to Disney, but Disney's so expensive.
It is. It's very expensive now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like so on a whim, I was checking prices last year, and it was like $600 a person for a 2-day park hopper pass. Like, that hurts me in more ways than once. In more ways than one. Okay. All right. So, who do we got in chat? We've got a lot of people in chat. We've got Ben. We got Jose. We got Mile High, who's already hasn't reposted but is here. Brian Fellers, Ben, Joe, Sean Lewis Media. Hey.
Oh.
Cameron's in here. And yeah, we'll probably have Sean on the show sometime soon. Well, not soon, actually. Do you realize, Logan, that we've got people booked out until May now?
Yeah, we've been going hard on the booking. It's been good. I like it.
Yeah. Sean, it's worth the extra step to stay a bit safer with batteries. Super G keeps ammo cans under the battery tables as well, in case you need one. Yep. At PDX, we usually have a bucket of sand near the track. It's like a big orange Home Depot bucket. Ben, convention center. Yep. That's gonna suck a little for parking, or parking sucks.
I'm just gonna take the max.
Well, I mean, there's that, but because they have underground parking there at the convention center. Mm-hmm. Now, the big sucktastic part of that is if you park on the wrong side of where the event is happening, because that takes a while to walk across.
Yeah. If it's like other car shows, I'm guessing there will be plenty of parking.
Underground for the convention center, yeah.
Yeah, because like most of the people are in the show.
Right. Okay. So, let's get it on. We've got part of Team D-Style here. We've got Logan, who's the noob guy.
Super noob. Just lucky. Super lucky.
Our new boy.
And then we got Albert. So, Albert, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and we'll start off with that and then keep on going from there.
So Albert Martinez. So for the whole RC thing, before I even jumped into RC, I was actually in the military. I found out about RC. I was actually deployed in Iraq, and one of my friends out here, he messaged me, showed me a video. I'm like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, what is this? It's like real, like one scale stuff. He's like, no, it's 110. We're jumping into RC drifting. I was like, no way. So I came home on vacation like around 2018-ish, I believe. And he took me to Super G for the first time. Went out there, met Joey and Steve. Joey, I got to talking to him. He's like, "Hey, this is what everyone's doing now." And at that time, it was RMX RTR that just came out, and I was like one of the first people to pick it up, the full kit and everything. So, and since then, you guys already know it goes downhill from there. It's just a endless black hole of bodies, chassis. So, and right now I'm living out in SoCal. I got out of the military, moved back home with my parents. So now I'm just hanging out here, hanging out with all the SoCal crowd. So it's not too bad, which is a good spot with all the tracks that we have. And I've been, the East Coast. We had RC Car World when I was out there, and that was like my second home. So all the guys in the East Coast, if you're watching this, hey, shout out to you guys. You guys took care of me out there. You guys hooked me up. So.
Oh yeah. We had we've been trying to get more East Coast guys on the show. We had Max now on, and then we're gonna get Alex Jordan coming up too.
Yeah, Alex took care of me when I was out there. Really good guy. So he's one of my good friends out there. So
sick.
So, random question: what do you do professionally?
Now I work at Budweiser.
Hell yeah!
The logistics department, working on the line, working the machines, any of the bottle machines, the filler machines. It's really easy. I'm not gonna throw it out there. That's like super hard work, but it's good. Yeah, it's good money. Yeah. I went from working the Air Force, dropping bombs, to now I'm just hanging out at Budweiser, making beer.
I'm about it.
Yeah.
I like, I always love watching how it's made. So.
Oh man, yep. I grew up on that show, so when I first started working, I was like, I'm living the life, man. This is an episode of how it's made every single day. I'll go up to a new machine, just like watch it, and just like, yeah, totally do this.
You should just start doing the B-roll for them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's
bring the show back.
But man, how it's made has so many different like series already. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like it's one of those hotel like on rerun type of shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Discovery went real downhill. I don't know what happened.
Oh man, once they got rid of Dirty Jobs and how it's made, it's just all been downhill. So
once they started focusing on the reality TV part.
Yeah.
I love how a channel that was dedicated to like learning and knowledge and exploring the world just turned into reality TV. That's sad. That's so bad, dude. What are we doing? Oh man, that's awful.
Forgot what it was called, but it was a show specifically about like airplanes and like no, it was literally just about airplanes and like fighter jets and all that stuff. It was cool. All right, Albert. So is Super G your home track? Is what you call home?
Yeah, currently I got 2 home tracks. Main right now is GGT, and then Super G I'll go to tune and prep for the comms, but mainly I've been hanging out at GGT the most right now. Just down there, so not too bad.
So I mean, the Team D style is deeply connected, I would say, with GGT, right?
Yes, correct. Yes. So when I joined, I knew I loved the group down there and the atmosphere. I think that's what makes RC drifting fun and keeps it fun, is if you have a good group of people you hang out with and just all have that same mindset. Like with Miko, when he asked me who is a team captain, or just one of the team captains. I know the founder. Off the top of my head, I should have my notes. But just hanging out with him. I've been driving with him the last year and a half, more once I got my RDX. So it's been more natural for me to go down to GTT. It's a little farther, but for me, I do a lot of training down there now, driving and whatnot. So, and then Keith, of course, the shop owner. Huge shout out to Keith. If anyone in the RC community knows, he takes care of you like super well. And if you ever need help, just go up to him. He's more than welcoming to put hands on your car and whatnot to get you dialed in.
He's the fastest customer service representative that I know of.
Yeah, like
From literally taking pictures of the products that you need.
Yep.
As long as you have the part number ready to go, he'll go and find it.
Yeah, he'll take care of you quick. Yeah, I think the fastest one time he did for me when I was building my SX3 like a year and a half ago. I'm like, hey Keith, can I get these parts? He's like, yeah. Within 10 minutes, showed me the photo of all the parts laid out. 2 minutes after that, tracking number. I got the next day. I was like, did I pay for overnight shipping? Because I don't.
It's like,
expensive.
No, I'm just that good.
Yeah, he's just. I don't know. He's really good.
Yeah, I feel like living in SoCal, you could, like, if they're on their stuff, you could order from a place and just get it next day, like every time. It's almost cheaper than driving out to the shop to get it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even for Super G, Steve and Joey, especially for me, I'll contact Joey about parts and stuff, and he'll get back to me. Go, hey, I do have it or I don't have it. But if it's there, he puts it to the side or he sends it out just as quick. If, like 2-3 days later, even sometimes also the next day, you'll get parts and stuff from him. Even bodies. I know he has a. If I don't want to call him out on here, but I know he has a
secret stash
of bodies I'm trying to get to.
Everybody knows about that.
Yeah.
It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodies that aren't on the website.
Yep. But he's good people. They took care of me too when I first started, so it's always good to talk.
You're pretty big into like collecting bodies and painting and stuff, right?
Definitely into collecting right now. I don't know why. I'm just a big collector, and like from back in the day, a bunch of us grew up on like Pokemon cards and stuff like that, and then now we're older, we got better paying jobs, and I was like, okay, see what I can do now, and then now I'm collecting bodies. I have a bunch right now. My biggest one's my addiction set. I try to get at least 2 of each. One I'll do for a build for someone or a commission, and then the other one just hold for myself for like a rainy day. Just to have. Addiction right now is my favorite. Molds, just if you've worked with their bodies, you know how easy it is. The trench lines are good. It's not like Pandora where you sneeze and all of a sudden you're cutting through the whole. You just ripped up the whole body on a quick slice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
DJ, it sounds like you have experience with that.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep going back to Pandora bodies, but yeah, they're a hassle if you aren't taking your time.
Oh yeah, a lot of patience with Pandora. And then Addiction's dropping this new S15 out. I think everyone saw, which I'm excited about. I'm actually gonna maybe do that for a personal body, but we'll see.
If they can make it not like 20 pieces, I'm down.
Oh yes, please. Do the 400Z that they pushed. I think I put up the photo of my last 400Z I built for an overdose build. That one, easiest body, hands down. 3 pieces, and then of course if you want the wing and the 4th piece, it went so easy to put together. Like it was almost like building a Lego set. Just everything snapped together perfectly.
Oh, P.S. everybody, Logan just bought a new microphone today. Yeah. If he sounds good or if he sounds bad, that's the reason why. Although, the pop filter, you don't need the pop filter.
All right. I don't know. This was $20. It came with the arm and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Bam.
Amazon next day shipping.
Yep. I don't know. They've been doing a lot of. I think I noticed a lot of the stuff that I've been ordering. You can get next day, or same day even, like a lot more often now. It's pretty cool.
Have you ever had a same day shipping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't yet. My brother had, and he's like, dude, it's a miracle. Like you literally click buy, and then 3 hours later, it's at your door. It's like, what?
Yeah. I ordered this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my thing is that I start work at 7 in the morning, so it's like, and it's to sit at a desk job, so a lot of the time is like Amazon shopping or doing whatever.
Yup.
So yeah. All right. So let me scroll down to the handy dandy questions here, which we've already answered a lot of stuff. So, let's talk about kind of your setup here. In terms of your chassis and your electronic setup. That way we can just start rolling into that. Let me bring up a picture here and see if I can do this while we... Well, oh, nope, don't want that. Hold on. I will get this. Baby. So while I'm bringing this up, can you go ahead and tell us about your setup here that I'm going to switch to now?
Yeah. So what was this? RDX came out, and I was actually on the first group to grab it, but I held off on building it because I wanted to see what the whole hype was. You know, this because a lot of us were coming from like fully hopped up, full carbon fiber chassis and whatnot, and then here comes Rev D dropping what they were calling the Plastic Fantastic. So I was like, kind of skeptical, but let's see what everyone else is gonna do. So I saw a lot of people building it box stock, and I felt like I advanced enough where I could finally start feeling the fine tunings of chassis, and that's when I got with Miko, and I got with him, felt his out, and I was like what's going on? Like this, of course, at that time it wasn't box stock. But when I felt it, I was like, oh man, so only 3 or 4 pieces I need, like the TK, blocks in the rear, and then just the minor shimming and stuff just woke it up. I'm like, okay, I got to build mine now. Like after I felt his, so I started mimicking Miko's build, and that was like a no-brainer. Him being, the Team Rev D driver in the US, he's like our go-to guy when it comes to Rev D stuff. So pretty much started going towards his builds, and then trying to fine tune on my own, like little adjustments, little changes that I could do to get it down to my tune preference, and that's where I've landed. And then actually, I didn't send you the new photo. This is right before I grabbed the new Rev ESC, and that's been pretty good. I'm still trying to dial it in. I felt like the range going from the AccuVance to the Brev, it opens up like on your trigger finger. It's kind of hard to explain, but like from going from minimal pulls, it widened that whole range of pulls. So I was telling people that saw me driving on round 1 at Super G, they're like, oh man, you're quick. I'm like, oh, it's a new Brev, but I'm struggling with it. And I was like, oh, I was fighting the whole night until like my very last my battle, where I finally felt like it felt good. But then of course I wall tapped, and I was like, what can you do? It's what it is.
We were watching that it was going on kind of during the stream. That was exciting.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Logan, Ben's looking for the link for your new mic and
it's
all
just
that fun stuff.
It's just a Shure MV7 USB one.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else with the chassis? Yeah, full Rev D now electronics. Full what was I gonna say? My shocks are Axon V2s. And then, as if you can see, that's not the full box stock front end. That's all like MC1 parts. It's everything that Rev D released on their Amiibo. Did I ever say that right? Amiibo? Yeah, so they released that, all the hop-up parts, and we started going for that option. So the chassis is about 99% full Rev D. Anything you could pick up from Rev D, the chassis has on it. So I kind of try to see the purest route. I know a lot of companies have been dropping out their carbon fiber options and everything, and it was tempting. It was really tempting to jump on one, but I'm trying to stay the purest route with Rev D, give them like all the chances to put on to my current chassis and whatnot. So I think only 2 or 3 pieces may not be Rev D, and I think that's just some spacers with top line. I saw Moriton, she dropped a bunch of new stuff, so I grabbed some of the spacers from them, and that's sitting on there too. So
I wouldn't say spacers count.
Yeah, so
I will say though, like as far as the Axon shocks though, is there a little bit more wiggle room like from the top cap, or is it a pretty nice snug fit?
It's actually a pretty nice snug fit. So yeah, you've noticed that the top cap is a stock RDX, the Rev D cap, and then you just swap it out with the axons, and it fits perfectly. I've had very little to minimal bleeding, so it's worked. Last season, did 5 shock rebuilds, and every single time, like I think only one had a leak, and I think that was on my end not tightening down the cap good enough. And of course, it was the rear end where a lot of the pressure was, so it leaked.
Now I see you have this nifty shock strut, front strut tower thing going on.
Yeah. So yeah, Miko and Keith, they have been tuning for more Ackerman and trying to dial in the front end. So that's where that came from. Kind of Frankenstein MC1 parts to get that out of the RDX. There's been other ways that people have done to get more Ackerman, but I think this is the one where we found where it's more precise and we can fine tune it better with the shims.
Well, so wait. It's this top little turnbuckle, right?
That's just the brace.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. Nothing mechanically advanced except for holding those parts together. Because from what I've noticed and what I think we've seen is that putting the MC1 top arms, that has some play in it because all the plastic is still there. So that was I wouldn't say it's a must, but just to hold everything together, of course, and the way we drive, like the style that everyone's pushing now, like faster and harder initiations, like you could tell the difference.
And it looks like you're running the low hole. Wait, these are the rear blocks, right? On the MC1? Like they would go on the rear, like for your camber links?
Believe so, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing there. But the actual like front end piece for the MC1 will fit on this too, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen that done.
Yeah, with some modifications, some cutting and whatnot, it'll fit. And then full FRP deck, and then I got the aluminum braces that they released, the light braces, just to stiffen it up. So we're going for get that carbon fiber feel without going carbon fiber from another company. So,
but it sounds like you guys will be able to. It looks like you guys will be able to do carbon fiber.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did drop the tease. They did tease it out, so it's coming. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. So less parts in the car, but then of course we like to tinker, so we'll find ways to add stuff and take stuff off to adjust.
Yep.
I'm surprised you're not running the MC1 rear shock tower,
no.
like for the body mount.
So I did think about it. I also thought about grabbing the wrap-up one, the carbon fiber add-on, but with the whole weight bias that we have, it's trying to balance it. The 3070 is what we're aiming for, so
there you go.
Just trying to balance everything out.
And you are running everything adjustable here. So can you share with us a little bit about your specifications, like your geometry?
For the geometry, I'm at -8 front camber. I believe I have half a degree of toe out. For Ackerman, that I don't know the specifics. I'd have to actually pull my chassis, look at it, and see where I'm at. But other than that, I think my ride height front and rear is 10 front, 9 rear.
Really high.
Yeah,
that's really high.
Really high. We do have that bounce that we chase when you do get on and off throttle. You see chassis where they get that bounce going. That's pretty much where our tune's at. So I felt if any lower up front, I'll be slapping the ground, losing speed.
Gotcha. Because if I remember right, the front and rear ride height on the stock RDX setup is 5 mils.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can confirm that Team D style likes a bouncy front end. Driving with James.
Now it's kind of interesting, right? Because talking with Justin prefers a more like settled and solid front and rear, like not overly aggressive rebound for his chassis.
Yes, just seen Justin's chassis driving. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I've kind of targeted that with my chassis as well.
Personal preference, right?
Yes,
that's all that it is.
Yep.
I might get orders to change it though. We'll see.
Now, these blue springs, Blue Rev D springs, are these the super short RDX springs?
Yes, the SWO is what I think they called it. So, running the blues in the rear.
Are these the stock Axon shafts, or are these the stock RDX shafts?
So it's the stock Axons, but when I was building, I can't fully confirm it, but I was building my RDX and I pulled everything out, just thought like, oh, what kind of stuff do they have going on? Compared it side by side with the Axons, and it's really close. Like I believe like they probably went to the same manufacturer, got the same stuff because it looked really identical, looked really good. So when I slapped on the Axons, I already knew like, oh, it'll be good. It'll work right off the bat. The top cap thing, I got that from Miko when he showed me because I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, hey, how did you get the Axons to work? You have to shave the top cap. He's like, no, RDX top cap works. I was like, no, it's not gonna work. Threw it on, drove it. I was like, oh, damn it, it worked.
It's like someone's already done it.
Yeah,
but that's cool because then you don't have to make extra adjustments for how long those Yokomo like top ends are.
Yeah, exactly. That was, I won't say headache, but that was always like, oh, if I want to change my tune, I have to change the cap sometimes or whatnot. So worked really well.
And you're on 7. Is it a 6.7 or a 7.7 on the
It's on 7.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And TK block.
Yep.
How do you like TK block compared to like just normal drive, like the normal style?
I feel like the TK block feels really good coming out of any of the Apexes. When you are searching for that extra grip, it's there with the TK blocks. The wheel geometry when coming out, if you have any pitch, it flattens it out, and that's where I feel that extra grip comes from. Especially, I feel it the most at Super G now because of they went J tile, the Japan P tile. So now that it's a lot more consistent, you'll feel the differences in your throttle input. Going from tiles like at Sky Hunter or GDT or any of the other tiles, the consistency you get from Super G now with their tire preference, it's there. And I drove with at that track a long time, even before they went tile. And those days, oh man, you were fishing for grip everywhere on the track. So,
yep,
yeah, that was the biggest change. I think that's the biggest game changer now. Last season when it happened was them going P tile, the Japan tile, and then feeling the TK blocks on there. It wakes up the rear end a lot.
Are you running it flat, like on the bottom hole of the block, or on the not the block, but the upright, bottom hole or top hole of the upright?
It's on the. So I've done both. I think currently right now I'm on the bottom hole, so we get more articulation coming out of the sweepers. Yeah. Okay. So coming out of sweepers, if I get on throttle and the chassis tilts, you get all that grip when it flattens out. The tire is coming out, and I feel like that's where everyone's at right now. We're trying to get that extra grip coming out of Apexes and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. The Keen Knife is asking, what's his rear setup for camber and toe block inserts?
My rear setup currently, I swap around between -2, -3 camber, and then my toe in, I think I'm currently at 0.68, but I think I might swap out to a full 1 degree, just by feeling out the new Brev ESC. I'm thinking I might need more forward push. So yeah, the Keen Life. Yep. That's where I'm at right now.
Do you know what inserts you're running?
Actually, I have my chassis right here. Let me just double check.
While we're looking at that, we need to all agree on something here. I want to make this declaration. Hopefully this is cool with everybody. but we need a name to differentiate between like the P-tile, say that we have a PDX now, and the Japanese P-tile. And Albert already used it. I've used it a bunch. Can we all agree just to call that tile specifically J-tile?
The J tile, yeah.
I think we've already been doing it.
Yeah, I think we have too. I just want to make it official.
No. Okay.
All right,
I'm on board.
J-tile.
I mean, it's not necessarily our decision, but yeah.
No, it is. We can do whatever we want. It's our decision.
J-tile. J-tile it is.
All right, so looking at it, I got look at it again. I just had my camera or my flashlight. I'm on E for the rear, and I believe I'm on C up front. So centered up front, E, dots out, so I get that extra toe in. Oh, and yeah, for anyone, I know it's not on the photo, but for anyone on the chat, there's that Brev ESC. You do lose all the AccuVant stuff, so you'll lose telemetry. So we have thrown on the little micro capacitor readers, or the volt readers. So you still get that. That's something easy like workaround. So I know some people that went to AccuVant said, "Oh, I like the telemetry." Like, how much do you really look at your remote unless you're looking at your battery life, or you're doing your tuning?
I ever use telemetry.
It's not even the battery life.
More of the tuning aspect, yes, you get from your remote, which is really good.
Yeah, the tuning is where
tuning on AccuVant. Oh man,
but,
that was so nice.
You can still just I mean, it's a little bit more inconvenient. Like I always preach, like ease of tuning is super important because it just means you'll do it more.
Yeah, and then with the Brev now you get the app. Oh man, it's so nice with the app again. I remember when we were all on Yokomo stuff, and they had their Yokomo app, but you had to, of course, use the little Wi-Fi dongle.
Hook everything up and get it all connected, and presumably now you just could pull off the side of the track and pull out your phone. Is that basically? Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Okay. This is my question. How many people are running the Brev D ESC like out of track at any given day for you?
Oh. So yeah, I know. When I went to GTC last, it was almost all of us already. I think there was 6 of us on the Brev at that time. That's actually when I first got it. Yeah, like 6 of us were on the Brev already. So I know about the pulling up the app and everyone's Brev pops up. So we found a workaround where you can actually just filter it out, and you can pull your own. You'll pull your own specifics, so it filters everybody else out. So that's a good thing.
Good. Yeah, because we've had
it.
Oh, what was that?
Can you rename the
currently no.
Okay.
From what I've seen, I don't think you can name it yet. Hopefully with an update they'll push something like that.
I've seen at our track, we only have 2 Brev drivers so far, but with the Yokomo stuff, because the racers use those as well. Maybe it was Hobbywing actually. It was Hobbywing.
Yep.
Kevin was like tuning his ESC on his drift car, and wrote the settings to someone's buggy. And that guy found out real quick. It was pretty funny.
Is it not password? Like
they're
no
not
password at all?
No. I mean, not everybody's gonna set that up.
Yeah.
Could you imagine your stock 17.5 buggy magically running with 60 degrees of boost?
60 degrees of boost. It was pretty funny. The guy came over right away. He was like, "Kevin, is somebody tuning a Hobbywing right now?" And Kevin was like holding his phone with the app open.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But so far the Brev's been really good. Been really fun.
Now, would you say that it's more punchy, less punchy? You were saying that it kind of expanded.
Yeah,
your
so
right?
Right off the bat, I used Miko's bass tune that he showed, and eventually I did find out about the let me see, I have it here on me right now. See if I can find it. The throttle drive frequency. I got to talking to Alfredo about it too. I talked to him. He's from Tech 1, and he was saying, "Hey, adjust the drive frequency, see what that does with it," and it does mimic more of my setup on my trigger finger from AccuVance, and I think that's what helped out. But yeah, with it's still a big range. Like I don't know, some kind of Japan magic they put into the Brev, but it opens up that trigger range. It's weird. It's still really weird. So just trying to fine tune that to shorten it for myself, my own personal preference is where I'm trying to get to. And I haven't tested it yet at Super G, but for the next round. But I'm definitely gonna go for a tuning day down at GGT and get that dialed in.
Okay. I was noticing that I think soft start is one of the parameters that you can change.
Yes.
And I think that probably has a little bit of like to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this up here so everybody knows it. Judd says he's a pretty little princess. For everybody to know. We'll find out if I come home with a Brev D ESC tomorrow or not. There's still apparently 2 at the track, and we'll find out. I'm bored with not having things to play with right now.
Oh, well, maybe you can get yourself a Brev.
Yeah. How much are they at the shop?
Yeah, whatever the normal retail price is.
Well, which retail price?
like
I don't
350 and up.
Judd might know.
Judd, how much are the
I
Brev
see
D
what
ESCs?
happened to Judd.
PC got jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. Because I've like as much as I love the AccuVance setup, it's just kind of like I need something else to try right now. For the few hours that I get to drift here and there because of competitions.
I kind of want to get one of those nitrides.
Oh man.
Okay, so what burns me on that is that technically Keyence, or aka AccuVance, before anything, was already doing the ceramic heat sinks.
Right.
Like, but the cool thing about that ESC is the whole onboard OLED like readout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
And it has like data logging as well. So you
Judd
can,
says you can tune on the fly. Jake was driving, telling me what to tune at the same time. That's kind of cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. They had to do something that was comparable to what you can do on an AccuVance, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, but AccuVance doesn't let you tune at the same time as you're driving. Neither does Hobbywing. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of a semantic argument, but
Could you imagine having your just side co-driver, co-buddy guy just being like, hey, I need you to change this.
Yeah, like F1 style. You can change your ESC settings for each turn. All right, big sweeper.
Yeah, imagine like during like a comp, he's like, hey, at this sweeper, lower my throttle so I get more kick out of it. It's like, oh my god.
I'm in the hairpin. Turn it way down.
Yeah.
Oh, rewind a little bit. You were talking about drive frequency. Where are you sitting at for your drive frequency right now?
Current drive frequency, I believe, 24. I didn't screenshot my my current drive frequency.
Do you remember if that's where you were at for AccuVance?
Ooh, good question. No, I don't. I haven't touched my AccuVance tune in a minute.
It'd be interesting to see, like, if it actually matches up apples to apples.
That's good. Yeah, I should probably pull those together and see what my tune was on my AccuVance, my RAD, and then see where I'm sitting on compared to my Brev. I should have done that, but I was too excited for it. Once it dropped, I jumped on it and took off. So,
yeah.
Sure. Oh, hey, are those pre-soldered wires, or are they just like kind of nubbins that you gotta?
They are all pre-soldered. The full setup, I believe, comes pre-soldered. I just added the bullets, the Yokomo bullet. I think they're Yokomo bullets. Yeah, the motor bullets, and then the 1-ups. So,
Yep.
And then I had my buddy Vincent, and also on our team, one of the team mechanics. He did that up for me, so pretty good.
Team mechanics. So you just hand him your chassis and be like, "Do this."
No, no. A lot of testing and tuning, and we'll bounce stuff around. He just official for him, like a mechanic. It's just someone that, I guess, in the team tinkers more than everybody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The guy that tries it first and
Yeah.
shares the
Gives us
information.
input, and then we'll try it.
There's definitely, there's different people where you're like, I'm kind of more on the side of like, I just want to drive. So if my tune is kind of not great, I'll just leave it because I'm just going to drive it.
But Logan,
And then
like
you're going to have people that will go deep dive into everything. What am I?
You're like the outlier.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
We were talking about this earlier, how you're the only Team DS driver with a
Oh,
MD2.
yeah. Yeah. No comment.
Any look for the horizon for an RDX? Logan?
Probably not. I've never been a guy that wanted a bunch of chassis. Like, kind of, I got a YD2Z to start and moved on from that, I would call it. To get more serious when I decided I wanted to get more serious about competition, and I don't really see myself as someone who's gonna have like more than one like main chassis. I'll still drive the Z because I have it, but yeah, I'm not a like trying to. I don't gotta collect them all. You know what I mean?
I do. It keeps me entertained that way.
At one point, oh man, it was bad. We've all been there.
Which, just a reminder, if you do have like the project that you're working on this week, post it in Roast My Rig in the Discord. And while we're talking about Discord, let me post the link, because in case you're not there, we can add you.
So I've been doing this for like just over a year now, a year and a couple months. I still only have 2 chassis and 2 bodies.
Yeah, but you're also taking like a very different approach to this than what most people do.
That's very true. Yeah.
I also feel like it's when I first started, like a lot of people in RC drifting were car guys beforehand. Like we've all into the the JDM scene or the Euro DTM stuff.
Yep.
So it just translates over to RC drift. Like you always like, oh man, I can never afford a Skyline. Well, guess what? You can get a Skyline body.
Now you can. Yeah.
Now you can. You have an R32. Oh, you want an R34? Let's go get you an R34.
I've
like
said that before
bucks.
too. Like this definitely, this hobby has absolutely scratched my itch for like wanting to own like some kind of sports car or something like that I can work on and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect amount, because it turns out I actually hate working on cars in real life, but I don't mind working on an RC car. It's actually pretty fun.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, is it the part about the real car? Like, is it the fact that you'll mess something up yourself and then spend the next few hours trying to fix it?
No. Well, it's just like nothing ever goes how you plan. It hurts. You're crawling around. It's dirty. Everything's heavy. Stuff breaks when you're trying to fix it. You're punching. Your knuckles are getting shredded. It's just unpleasant. And then you're doing all this work for hours, and like all you did was make your daily driver drivable again. It's not exciting at all.
Facts, man, facts.
That is facts.
Yeah.
It's like if I can get a car job done, and this is me. We're talking about like simple stuff, right? Like oil change, spark plugs, like at the most changing out a headlight or adding fogs to my Corolla, right? That was the biggest project yet. But if I can make it out of those jobs without like a scraped knuckle, that's a win.
Hey, what year Corolla do you got?
21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 21
I thought
special edition.
I thought you were an 86 bro.
No.
I thought we found another 86 bro out there.
We have a couple of those guys
We sure do.
in the PDX area, that's for sure.
E86 or are they like FRSs, GR86s?
All of the
AE.
above.
All of the above. Okay.
Damien and Momo both have AE86s.
Nice.
I think, right? Yeah. John has a
John has a-
GT86. We don't have
I have
one
a-
that has a GR yet.
I have a shop GR86 that I can drive.
Speaking of which, Albert, what are your feelings about the whole GR86 like wave that's hit this RC drift scene?
Oh man. Okay, personally, nothing against it. It was, it's really good. Love the body, it's short body. But when you see like 20 of them at the track, you're just like, okay, let me pull out mine now and be like everybody else is. Like individuality, I think is a big thing for me when it comes to RC. Try to do something different, body-wise, or also just, just have fun with it. But when you see a bunch of them, it's what it is.
Right. 8-6 day is gonna hit so much harder this
year.
Oh,
yeah. 8-6 day
fun
this year is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, was it Addictions? Love Addiction. Love them for what they make. But man, that GR86 body, the pieces, it's like their old style, like 800 piece bodies. It's a struggle.
And they don't just kind of line up. You have to do a lot of work to.
You have to do a lot of. Yep.
But they kind of had to do it that way too, like to get the wide body paneling right.
Yeah.
Yep. Correct. Yeah, with the whole mold system they got there, I could see where a lot of the pieces wouldn't have come off as smoothly. So it had to be done the way it is. So.
Like Addiction did it best. MST is really, really close behind them.
Yeah.
And then Yokomo just ripped it up and sucked. Like
yeah. They're going like, here's the best you can get it, accept it, have fun with it. But it's one of probably my favorite feeder GR86 bodies because single mold. So if you want to get crazy with it, take the Addiction pieces and add the diffuser and add the Addiction wing if you want, and make it almost like Addiction. And then at the track, doesn't matter. 10 feet away, they all look the same. All the molds almost look the same. We're all guilty. We'll be like, oh man, what is that? Huh?
It's good from afar, but far from good.
Yep. Good from far and far from good, man.
Mile High is back in chat. What up, everybody?
What up, Mile? But
you're late, Mark.
Nuts.
He was first. Mark was first. It just didn't show up.
Okay.
So since we're talking about bodies, let's go there now. Let me switch the whole screen thingy.
He's late but early.
He's late. Where's my transition button? Oh. There. Okay, here we go. So we talk about bodies, and we talked about how you do bodies. So this is you?
Yes, everybody that you're about to show is all me. Let me just double check. I think everybody on there I sent you, except for one, I might have had some help just because it was a spray can, or not spray can. It was airbrushed, and I couldn't get the color. So one of my buddies helped me out with that colorway. So, but everybody that we're putting up on chat is my work. This is actually the Overdose. Yeah, the Overdose JZX, one of my first Taka bodies. Oh man, this one goes way back. This one actually got me a lot of interest on people like, oh, can you make me Taka bodies? So that's all I did was push Taka bodies. I got so tired of it that I was like, no more Taka bodies, man. I gotta do street style for a little bit or something until I learn a new design. But I believe Zach out in Arizona got this body for me. I think it's still in his collection. It has a really good place in my heart, man. It's one of my very first Taka bodies, and it blew up. Like everyone, that got me really into it.
The cage in that looks super elaborate.
The cage was from Alex. When I was he was actually my 3D parts sponsor. He got me the cage. I believe he's getting back into it. When he gets on the chat with you guys, you can probably ask him. He's bringing back the old Endless team, so that should be interesting. Also very exciting. I'm very happy for him that's coming back. So he did a lot of 3D printing back then. I don't know if he's doing it now, but I think he may be getting back into it. He could probably correct me. But yeah, he did really good stuff. I loved all the 3D print cages that he did. He also did the little dice on the rearview mirrors. So
Mhm.
that was
Oh, yeah.
pretty cool.
Is this a smartphone picture or is it like big camera picture?
Oh, these are all smartphone photos. I do have my good camera, but I haven't been using that. So this is, I believe, on the Samsung phone. I forgot what number already.
Right.
It's so much easier these days to pull out a phone than it is to like
Yeah,
go
pull out
through
like a
the whole rigmarole.
DSLR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like, I don't even take my big camera anymore unless I absolutely have to. It's more about the like live in the now type of thing instead
Yep.
of trying to
Yeah.
record it, right?
Totally. Yeah, I was into photography pretty heavily and did all kinds of like car events where all I was doing is focusing on that, and I realized like I'm missing all of
missing-
this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really just missing it.
It's like even though that you're
Nothing.
seeing it in a viewfinder or on a screen,
Yep.
and you can relive it later.
It was rewarding, like to have the photos and for people to be excited about them, but I got over it quick.
I think that's the only one good thing about car shows, like just as doing the hobby part of that for shooting. You can just go around.
Yep.
It's so many times, and then even more, especially at hot import nights, because it's a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go here.
Oh man, my pink style Mark X. This one, so the livery guy who made it, he retired out of doing liveries. So everyone that saw this body is like, oh man, let me get the livery. I'm like, I can't. The guy, he retired from doing anything RC drifting, but the pink style body, definitely one of my favorite liveries out there.
That's a lot of livery.
That was a lot of work. Yeah.
That looks like a lot of work.
Yeah.
It covers like
Seems
most
like
of
it'll
the
be.
car.
Was it die cut?
Yeah, it was all die cut, pre-cut. So he had some really good work. He was pushing out some really good stuff. So sad that he had to go. I know it was a personal thing he had to decide on. He's truly missed in the RC community. He had some good work that he was pushing. So yeah, that Mark X was at the old Super G site. That floor, man, that Super G floor back then, good times.
All right. The Yaris.
The Yaris, which is now comp legal, so I may or may not be pushing something. But the Yaris, one of my favorite ones from Addiction, had to put it up here to show it off. I didn't go true scale to it. It was kind of a rush job to try and get one out as fast as I can to try it out. So that's what this is. I know there's some parts where I missed out on trying to make it absolutely scale, but it's still a good body. Really short rear for anyone that ran short rear SCs. If you do still have a Yaris, we all know we had to cut the bumpers, cut some holes to make it work. So
Yeah, we talked about that one.
yeah, and of course, when it first came out, the big word was the cheater body. How short it was, how deep you can get into the walls. But
Yeah, my opinion on that is that like it does throw off like your cue as a chaser.
as a chaser,
when
yeah,
you're behind it,
Yep.
right? Because you think you can get closer than you can, but also the transitions are a little easier too, right? Because you have
Mhm.
less car to get out
yeah,
of the
less
way.
guard.
of. So
Yep.
I think that's kind of a double-edged sword there. It's an advantage, but it's also at a disadvantage to yourself.
Yeah.
So
It is.
I think calling it a cheater body is a little. You should just get better at driving.
Oh, the GR86 is now the
Yeah,
GR86
everybody's
is-
driving super short cars anyways. so-
Yeah, so it's like we were mocking that at one point, and now we're all there. Like we're all running short rear end bodies. So,
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Well, and Jake pointed out that like the bodies that he runs are not like square bodies. They're always going to be some sort of like rounded front end, rounded rear end.
Yeah.
Just so that he can kind of have that advantage for transitioning.
Yep. And the there's not really a term for this, but like to use something from like off-roading, you have like departure angle, but the vertical departure angle to the wall is hugely advantageous, like having more of an angle on your tire, right, so that you can get closer to the wall without your body exceeding that too much. It's really nice.
Greg just picked up the RD 2.0.
RD2.
Can't wait to see
Oh, man.
how it do.
It's gonna be sick.
Check out Vittorio's video if you haven't seen that.
Yeah,
Does a
Vittorio
really
built
nice
one up.
over.
Looks really good.
And he didn't do much to it. I think the only thing that he really did was big bores.
I think, yeah, just big boards and then threw on his all the AccuVant stuff, and that's it. That
That's
thing rips,
it. All
man.
that AccuVant stuff.
Yeah.
The video of him
Huh?
literally just stacking AccuVant Zarvis XX, Fledge 10.5, like all of the stuff on that counter is hilarious because it's like $1,000 worth of electronics right there.
A full like top shelf video right there. But yeah, man, Yokomo, they're coming back. They also picked up a driver, right? Brett
Yep,
out in
Brett.
Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Very
crazy.
smart.
So I think it's interesting, right?
Uh-huh.
Because basically, like, so is Brett going to be able to drive a hybrid chassis, like
Oh,
a
I don't know.
chassis?
You threw the
Uh,
questions.
Yeah, I think we all should probably ask him. But I think there's
Yeah.
something, when you get picked up. I know there's contracts that you gotta follow. So
That's
interesting.
that's for everyone, when you start getting into factory team stuff, right? Like most of us
Especially
run
big.
aftermarket decks. So
Mhm.
Yeah, especially big names.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yokomo is a big name.
yeah, very big name.
it definitely gets a little weird. I know, like if you watch, I'm sure everybody follows like Timmy Woo.
Hmm.
He's like a Yokomo factory driver, but yeah. I mean, he's running Yokomo everything, and I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know if I want to run Yokomo everything.
Which you're not. So
Yeah, exactly. I would have to change so much. So just like, something that's interesting to think about.
Yep.
you are both the outlier and like the biggest like variance of parts, Logan. So you are the MD2, and not only an MD2, you are an R spec or not R menu R design. Wow, too many R's. Chassis conversion too.
I feel my chassis may be an outlier, but my electronics are pretty bog standard. 550 AccuVance Futaba.
Like general stuff, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
as far as
for
chassis
sure.
goes. Okay,
My latest, I did push. So I sat on his body for a while. The 400Z. I did have one. I think I had like 3 in my stash right now. I got one I'm working on. Actually, 3 I'm working on. Pushing some fail crew bodies on that soon. But yeah, the 400Z, man, one of my favorites. And then of course with if you guys have been watching the big whole overdose push that's been happening, I was like, all right, let's see who wants it. And I had a guy in Japan that wanted it. So unfortunately fell through. Now the body's out in the East Coast, but still happy with who I ended up with out there. So hope he's enjoying it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Looks real clean.
Yeah. So this is the Addiction 400Z with the full weld overdose livery kit that comes with the JZX 100. And with this, you actually have to. What I had to do when I saw is the Itos A90. I saw one of the overdose drivers. How they did theirs, I'm like, oh, this is doable. Like it doesn't have to be all paint. You just gotta trim and cut. So this is a lot of blade work. All the sponsor lettering, all the sponsorship wording, it's all hand cut. All the excess is cut, so very little excess. You could still see some here and there, but that's just the best I could do with the blade. So, and if you've worked with the overdose livery kits, it's not pre-cut. Everything is all pre-printed on the sheet. You got to cut it out yourself. So I did what I can to cut everything, all the inside of the O's and the D's are all cut, all the little intricate like jagged parts that go into the lettering. That's all pre-cut. So it was
That's some
It was tough.
dedication, man. That's some huge
It was-
dedication.
it was some work. So.
I don't think I have the patience for that.
How do fake tattoos work? Like, you put them on, you get them wet, and then it
Yes.
transfers to, right?
Yeah.
How come we haven't seen that yet?
That was, I mean, I remember building like model kits back in the day that had a similar setup, right?
Wait. Temporary
Transfer
tattoos.
details?
Sorry, I was trying to focus. Temporary tattoos for like livery stuff.
Yeah.
There's actually, I forgot who it is. I ran into someone who that's what he does. Like he actually gets temporary tattoos and he does that. That's how he does it. And what you do is you'll pretty much do it like you would do on your skin,
Mhm.
but you put it on the clear body first, and then peel it off, and you'd start spraying, and then the paint kind of secures that temporary tattoo into the spot.
Okay.
Oh, was that?
So
I think
it's-
someone
it's
was that
sealed.
on Worldwide. Yeah, was that dropped on World, like RC or one of the Facebook groups? Like someone posted a clear body with all the artwork already. Was that
Yeah,
like the method he used?
I'm assuming the same method, but this was just someone locally that
okay.
kind of drove. I haven't seen him in a while, but I don't know if you guys know Adam or Logan. I think his name is James, the guy who does the lowrider. I'm not too sure if that's even his name or not.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't remember his name.
there's like a purple lowrider, and then he'd have like I haven't really seen him lately because I think he's
Yeah.
out and about all the time. But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, there's a guy
Ben.
locally.
Ben said,
Sorry.
I'm trying that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man,
I
if-
think it's legit.
Yeah,
I think
someone
it's
could pull
kinda
it off.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, look,
people were pulling it off.
That was
That might
how
be the
those
next
models
thing.
used to work, right?
Yeah. You dip it into the water and you put it on there, let it dry up. Oh man,
That'd make it so much easier.
yeah. Especially with liveries. I know there's the Windex trick for some of the hard ones, but that's
It's
just that.
It only works so well though, right?
Yes, exactly.
I use the Windex trick because I use headlight vinyl for like
Yes.
as
Yep.
a tint. What's up, DJ?
Sorry, his name is Jesse.
Jesse.
Sorry.
He's up in Washington a lot, yeah. Oh, that lowrider guy, yeah. He's the one that that came in last and won Jake's body. That one,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing that.
Yeah, that's what he does.
I didn't realize that because I knew he does like graffiti art for a living too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and yeah, you can see my 8.6 in the background if you zoom in. The blurry 8.6
yeah.
little coupe and Starlet.
Right on. Okay. Chat, if you have questions, throw questions in chat so that we can answer them. Because it's more fun that way.
So on with what you said with the headlights, so you're still using? Cause I've tried that before too. The tint, the
Not-
actually car tint.
Not on the headlights, no. Like
Oh,
so
on the
I'm
windows.
I'm using headlight vinyl on the windows.
Okay, gotcha. I do
Yeah.
need to pick some of those up. 'Cause I've seen the Japanese guys rocking all that now. It's like, oh man, it looks so good.
Adam's signature, I would say, is the tinted windows.
It's funny because I only bought one color, so all of my cars are one color. Because you get so much.
Yeah.
You get a lot. You get that roll. That one roll will last you forever. For RC stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's doing great on my fog lights. It's been a year and it's not chipped. It hasn't done anything weird. It still has like the chameleon look to it too. So it's good.
Jose, can or airbrush? So for me personally, all my work so far has been rattle can. I did post something about fade work that a lot of people were asking about. It's all been rattle can, just a lot of patience, a lot of practice. Airbrush is actually coming very soon because I got a body from Japan, which is the Showa paint. Ah man, mind blown. Seeing it in person, seeing the color pop from Showa paint compared to what we can get from like Mission Model or Tamiya, it's next level. It's really nice. So I heard, or I think we all saw that Texas, the hobby shop,
Yep.
Texas will be getting Showa paint. So once that drops, I think a bunch of us body guys will be jumping on that, grabbing a can or two. So
For the uninformed, which is me, what does that mean? Or do you have a
the
link
Showa-
to it?
Showa paint, or
Yeah. Show up. Is it show up paint?
no? If you just look at Mackey's bodies, all the stuff I believe he's pushing out now is all with Showa paint, and the Showa paint I believe was first a actual car paint that they use on actual cars, and then they started doing stuff for RC. I think
Okay.
that's the history of it. I don't know. It's really good. Really, the color options they have are really vibrant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Ben with spray can is the way. Yep. Spray can. I'm still gonna go by it. If there's like some quick bodies I could push out, it'll be spray can. Airbrush, once I start learning, we'll see what happens.
And a tuning question from the Keen Live. When do you guys decide when you need more toe in or out in the rear?
You want me to answer that, or want you guys go first?
Well, I
I've
don't really-
never changed my rear toe ever. Not one time.
You've never tried it?
No.
What are you at? Just stock?
I think I'm at like a slightly in.
If like, oh, okay.
So
Oh.
probably like the half a degree. Half a degree.
Well, on the
to 1 degree.
MD2, it's just like where you tighten the arms. There's not like a setting or a toe block or anything.
But it should still give you a number. We can
Yeah.
measure it on
No.
the setup station.
It gives you a range. Like at one end it's this, and at the other end it's this.
Right.
So for deciding when you need more, I believe when you need more grip, forward grip. Toe in during squat promotes more forward grip. So I don't see a lot of people doing toe out in RC drifting because it's just going to throw off your geometry in the
That's
rear.
carpet stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's like
pure carpet.
fundamental drifting. Even RC or IRL, like
and
toe
yeah,
out is bad.
yeah, toe out's bad in the rear. But yeah, toe in. That's the easiest way to say it. You want more grip, just toe in. Too much toe in, then it'll have a negative effect when you're initiating your drift. So.
I think I've always stayed. Well, like a long time ago, I was running the Afro setup with zero camber, zero toe in, just because that's what we knew. And lo and behold, we advanced and we figured things out, and we are where we're at right now. So I think I'm at maybe 1 or 1.5, somewhere around there.
And that's a good spot for a lot of people.
DJ, what are you working on?
Sorry.
What
So
are you
yeah,
working on?
right now, I know Logan will be a little stoked about this one. I bet this is all I really have to do.
So it's MD2 related.
Well-
No, but it is something,
Our
Oh.
design.
our design.
Our design
RMX
chassis.
Oh,
yeah,
our
my
design
RMX
RMX. Okay.
chassis
Yeah.
that I'm trying to scramble
go.
together, trying to build the drivetrain and whatnot. But there's a few missing pieces, so I'm trying to get like a parts list. All the random little things that I'll potentially need. So I can do an order for that sometime.
Oh.
But
Are you basically doing the spare parts car?
yeah, so actually shout out to, which I don't know if he's watching right now, Chris, but Chris, he hooked it up with a little donor car so I could strip off all the parts and use it to this R Designs chassis so I don't have to rip apart my beast mode.
Nice.
I think that's smart because your first MST, to me, it has like a sentimental value. Like where it's at now, I think it's smart to leave it that way.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's a good call. He had a bunch of the pieces that, I already have on my car, so it's kind of nice to kind of just get it for a good steal and pretty much just build it up from there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
Now
I'm
he's
not
like-
laughing at you, DJ.
No, you're good. I'm just always working on something.
Yeah, you are.
Between drift stuff and buggy stuff, there's too much to work on.
Oh, random question, just to throw it out there. Have any of you used the super duper uber Microsoft Xbox One Elite controller?
No.
Yeah, I have one.
Nope.
I just picked one up the other day.
That's the one with the trigger fingers,
triggers.
like right behind the. Yeah.
Yep.
Right, because Scuff did it first, and then Microsoft came back. Oh, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But okay, it's funny because I have to use an extension on a stock Xbox One controller for CarX, right? But now that I've got the Elite controller, I don't have to do that. It's kind of cool.
I recently got one of these bad boys.
Yeah.
This is a ghoulie kit.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. That's the Elite controller.
No, it's a ghoulie kit. KK3 Max. It's like some random Amazon brand.
Oh.
Jeez.
Oh.
Amazon's
I
your
could
best
not
friend,
tell. Well, there you go.
Identical.
Okay, but here's the crazy part. It's what, like $65 for a normal Xbox One controller.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Elite core is like 120. Elite with all the triggers is 150. And then the Scuff is like 230, 220,
Yeah.
230.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you know how much this one is?
50.
$80.
It was $80. Yeah. It
Oh,
worked
man.
for like Switch, PC, Android, everything. It's pretty
That's
sick.
cool.
I actually am very happy with it. And it has Hall effect joysticks.
That's
So
cool.
There won't be any drift or anything.
Hall effect everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of surprised that no one's really done. Well, I'm not sure, but has anyone done like mechanical switches in like the buttons?
I have no idea.
Because like that's a hot thing in fight sticks is
Right.
speed switches, keyboard switches.
Got those new magnetic tactile ones now. Those are, ooh, too much.
So okay, nerd talk for a bit. Because Wu-Tang, right, came out with like the first analog switches that you could like go a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually use analog, like you could walk or you could run, right? Just from your keystroke. Now with these mechanical magnetic switches, you would think that would be easy to implement, right? Because you're just
Like an analog.
yeah, but it's not. You can adjust the triggering point, but
But
you
it's just
can't.
on and off.
Yeah, it's only an on
Mhm.
and off thing.
Hmm.
So much missed potential.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Random thing there.
I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.
It's gonna be back. Oh, he doesn't have his wireless headset on. That's funny. What games are you guys playing?
Oh man, Helldivers. We're diving. We got mechs.
Oh, what was it?
That's life right now. That's PC life right now. It's hell diving.
I watched a video about, like, it was a short on Facebook, and it was them trying to launch a nuke, and it was like so many steps to launch a nuke.
Yep.
Like, what is this game?
Oh man, it's actually pretty fun, and I think also the evolving, how to say it, like they came out saying, oh, there's a game master in the game that controls, how the game works, or not works, but how the game evolves and moves within the planets and whatnot. But yeah, it's nuts. And then just to activate stuff, you have to like do key combos, and it's fun.
Like, be
Definitely
in
fun.
the game.
Yeah.
What about you, DJ?
I don't really play a whole lot of games other than like CarX. I mean, sometimes I'll hop on Call of Duty. I mean, I don't really hop on any like new games or anything because I don't know. Between work life and RC stuff, I just feel like I don't have time to just wind down and play games.
I was playing.
None of you guys have gone a full simulator for Car X yet, or a Seto?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm
do?
on a Seto.
We're both on.
there it
Adam
is.
and I are both on a setup.
Oh man.
We don't play that often though.
Yeah, we need to do it more. And Mark's on, right? Mark has a setup. We just all need to get online one day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, mine's like covered in junk right now. I need to like clean it off and stuff. I don't know what it is. I just don't stay motivated to keep doing it. I don't know. I think it's like I can't explain it. I don't know.
Well, no, same boat, right? Because like I'm on the edge of ordering like a CSLDD or even like the new drop that Fanatec has with their DD Plus with the F1 wheel. That'd be a killer combo. But
I'm
it's like,
eyeballing a Simicube setup for sure.
it's like, do I really want it? It's just gonna sit there for a while.
I definitely do, because especially for like rally and drifting, I notice on the CSW 2.5 that it's not very smooth. It shakes. I don't know. And that kills it for me every time. I'm like, I go to transition and I feel the wheel like not just like spinning. It's kind of jittery and I'm just like, ew, I hate it. And then I don't play anymore.
Albert, do you have a setup?
Currently, no. I actually was gonna get into it when everyone jumped on Car X and Aceto. I decided not to do it. So.
I think Car X is just fine with the controller.
With a yeah, I guess I tried it. My brother's. It was doable. Doing all the drift tracks, it was doable. Definitely needed more hands-on with it, but I'm just more steering wheel pedal person.
Yeah. I haven't really ever found a setup in Car X that I like on the wheel, but Aceto is super fun. I love Aceto. And rally games, all kinds of any racing games, I'm into it.
When I figured out the setup for Car X, I couldn't keep up with anybody. I could hold angle and I could get around the tracks fine.
Right.
But I just couldn't like keep up with anybody. And I still can't, so maybe it's just a me problem. Okay, back to it. Christian, sorry. Have you guys used any high traction wheel? If so, did you feel any actual difference? I'm talking about the soft ones like the Overdose and Top Leverage ones. Yes.
Yep.
Period.
I think everyone's tried different wheels.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Everyone is just going for the softest wheels they can find, right?
Yep.
It feels very counterintuitive because like the tires that we use are hard. Right? And it's
it
like,
matters.
What can a soft wheel do? And yeah, it matters. Top lines, I think, are the most squishiest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit. Judd said we love Logan. There must be. There's no way he typed that.
Right? I don't know what the context is either.
That must have been Haley, I'm guessing.
But yeah, 100% there's a difference. In the actual utility of it and the sound. Like you can judge a tire how hard or a wheel how hard it is just by the sound.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Go out, grab like an MST chrome wheel, throw that on, and then go back to top line, and it's like night and day. You'll feel the difference.
The MST chrome wheels will hurt
One of these guys.
Yeah.
I really want to do like some kind of high-speed video
No.
of a soft wheel, like at super high RPM, because I bet it deforms a lot. Like I bet you can see it like flattening out when it hits the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Balancing wheels. Yes or no?
My instinct would be that the wheels are so light in the first place that it doesn't really matter all that much.
I'm on
But I
board.
could be wrong.
You're on board.
No, I'm on board with that. I've seen who did that video a couple years ago. I think it was someone on YouTube. He was balancing a drift wheel, and in my head, I'm like, wait, this
There's
is like
not enough
1/10
mass.
scale. There's not enough. Yeah, exactly. Not enough mass. These things are spinning at like how many thousand RPMs? Like it's not gonna make a difference. And if we're running like soft sponges in it, I don't know. So
The only
wheel
reason why I
balancing-
ask is because Sky RC has a new digital like automatic wheel balancer. It's
What?
$200.
I feel like the amount of weight you would have to add would be so small that it would be even hard to like actually do.
But that's the cool thing, because it's telling you how much mass you need to add and to which spot.
Yeah, but the mass would be like 0.001 grams.
We're all gonna sit there like drug dealers with like the mini scales, putting the scale or what is it, the weight tape on there. Oh man.
Speak for yourself, bud.
Oh geez.
Kidding. This thing wouldn't even. This only goes down to like 0.1 grams. So I feel like if you're balancing a drift wheel, it wouldn't even register on that scale.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We would all have to buy like $400 scales.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like I want to try it real bad, but I don't want to invest $200 into that.
That's where you push your shop to get one, and then you can just test it there.
Right.
Actually, hey, that could be a thing. Kevin might be down.
It's funny, like right now we're all making fun of the idea, and then like in 5 years when Super G Worlds is like some huge, insane, like big money event, we'll all be balancing our wheels.
I mean, I know drivers that mark their wheels already, like which is left and which is right. I
started doing that. So I did start doing left and right markings. So.
Mm-hmm. Like we're on our way there.
I don't. What is that about? I don't do that.
They don't mix them up. Yeah.
Just another fun question. In y'all personal way, how do you know when your tune is in a solid spot to leave it and drive it, or is it truly an endless addiction?
Oh, you sweet summer child. Never. For me, I mean, never.
Yeah, never settle.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always just like what you're looking for at that moment for me, right? That's like one day I'm tuning my rear end and that'll be fine, and then the next week I'll be like, oh, my front end needs to change, so I'll change that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say, you know, it depends on what you're doing. Like I did like my previous car, my Z, before when I was kind of just learning, I was not adjusting much at all, and I would leave it, and I didn't ever want to think about it because I was still learning how to drive. And my main like over that period of time, I discovered that my personal like goal is more on the competitive side, and so now that that's the case, like I never get to the track and I'm like, oh man, this thing feels perfect. It's always like, oh, I could fix this, or this could be a little better. And it changes every time you go to the track too. You can leave the track feeling like a god on the drift track, and you show up the next day or 2 days later and you're like, oh my God, I can't drive at all. And
here's what happened to me all the time at Northwest. At Northwest, I would tune my car, and since there wasn't a lot of people around, I would just be there, like maybe me and another person or 2 or 3 guys, right?
Yeah.
And we'd tune it. It'd feel great by the end of the day. But then, lo and behold, like when other people show up, then it's like back to square one. And what's wrong with my car?
That's the biggest thing is like we talk about this every week, but I think our perception of what our car is doing and how it feels is really bad. So if you are by yourself at a track and you're tuning stuff, and you don't have someone there that isn't tuning anything and they're driving like a robot, you know, then you can kind of have something to compare against. But if you're like just by yourself changing stuff, you can get into weird, you know,
you can
weird
fall
places.
off.
Yeah, where
fall off the rail.
You feel like you're making improvements, but then you show up the next day to drive with people and it's like, oh well, actually this is incredibly slow. So even like I think that's one of the benefits of having a tight-knit community is you can drive with someone for a long period of time, you know, 10, 15 laps. You can go change something, and if you're working together, you can talk to them. You know, they haven't changed anything, you come back and drive with them another 10 laps, and then you can really see the difference. Like, oh yeah, I actually am keeping up with them a little bit easier now, or I can match their angle the same, or stuff like that. Like, tuning by yourself, you know, to a degree, you're just trying to get your car drivable. That's fine, but tuning for competitive aspect, which is obviously it's a double-edged sword because now you're tuning. You're sharing everything with your direct competitors, but it's probably more effective, like as far as speed and competitive driving goes.
Well, and you're tuning to someone else. Like that's the overall part of it, because if the idea of drift is maintaining proximity, you're not going to do that by yourself. Unless you have some magic like ghost car that you can trigger on every single lap, which that'd be cool. But yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, that's the future. If we all have Apple Vision Pros and we just go to the track and it records a ghost of ourselves and we can...
And that's right. Oh, man. That'd be nuts.
Could you imagine? Required, what is it, $3,200 headset?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Just main point being, I think, it's important to consider, like, tuning with somebody is definitely beneficial because you have something to compare it against. Because what else, depends on what you're tuning for, right?
And what you're tuning. Because, like, if RDX is key, like, if that's what you're driving, make sure that your ride heights are good, make sure that your shocks are built properly. There's only so many things that can kind of go wrong with it to be in a bad position.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, tuning for, like, drivability is fine to be alone. Making sure that your car is easy to drive and isn't spinning out for weird reasons, or, your gyro settings are good, you're not wobbling all over the place. That's all fine to do to do alone. But when you're tuning for like speed or grip or angle, then it's like you should have someone to compare against. And in our case, oftentimes that's usually like, direct competitors, but it's fine. We're all pretty cool with it.
It's fine.
I think for at least at our track, like everybody's the communal goal is to go to SDC Worlds or whatever you want to call it now and do well for everybody. Like you want the whole track to like show up and do well. So that's kind of how we look at it.
On that note, when will you guys be getting the J tile? Because getting that before going to Worlds would be really good for you guys.
That would be hugely advantageous. I don't know if that's going to happen. Right now, we're kind of just waiting for the next round of orders to come together. Right? I think the last I heard, we're kind of like we had just missed out on the last round, and so we are the first track of the next round of P-tile ordering. So I don't know. We really don't know. I mean, maybe there will come a point where we're just like, screw it, we'll pay whatever if it's extra to get it now versus waiting around to save a little bit of money.
Which I do kind of want to talk about that maybe a little bit later with off air with you guys.
Okay.
I was talking with Ron about some things. So yeah.
Ron's a great resource. He's already been through that whole process.
Yeah, so I got some insight.
Yeah, insight.
Some info to share.
Cool. That'll be interesting to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree, Albert. Hopefully before then would be really nice. I mean, most of us have already have experienced, that either having driven at Super G or Tandem, but definitely having it at your home track is hugely advantageous. But even still, like for most people, most regions don't have a space as large as Super G does. So it's a totally different kind of style of driving, I would say. Even if you compare it to like, you drive at GGT a lot, it's very different.
Yeah.
Well, as far as traction rates go, doesn't GGT have quite a bit more traction than Super G does?
Yes. Yeah,
and it's much tighter.
Yeah, and it's a tighter track. So, I think I forgot who talked about for training, like drift training, is to go do small track. So when you get to like Super G, it just
feels like a freeway.
Opens up. Yeah, it feels like a freeway, and you have like, oh man, there's more options, more lines you could choose now that you didn't see before. So I've been going that route for my training. I'd say. I know it sounds like too serious. Like, oh man, this guy like goes trains, but at the end of the day, we're all
that's
we're all
totally
aiming
valid.
we're all aiming for worlds, especially
Yeah.
if like we can't go overseas or whatnot.
Yep.
And we're all aiming for worlds, for Super G
Yep.
worlds.
It's the biggest comp. It's the one we all want to win if you're on the competitive side.
Yeah.
So that's totally valid. Like we're all the few of us here that are really into that are definitely taking it very seriously. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And from what I saw from the finals last year to even round 1, everyone leveled up again.
Yep.
I just saw people throwing down laps. I was like, this is the first round. Like, what are we doing, man? Calm down.
Yep.
And all of the brand announcements, all of the sponsorship announcements it's really cool. Now, I don't know if we were just ignorant to it or if I was just ignorant to it beforehand, but it seems like this year is very outspoken about it. Like we know now. It's impressive.
Yeah. Not even just this, the brand sponsoring, all the teams picking up people. Like what, a month or 2 ago, it was like every time I open any of the RC stuff, like here's the new team. I was like, what? Like these people jumped on to like what's that team, the RCO guys? Picked up like all the top drivers that we know. And and Brenna's on there, and she's like the top female driver that we all know in the West Coast. So, but shout out to them, man. They got a solid team. They got a really good team.
Yeah. I mean, I sit in a similar position where I'm like, I started this not very long ago, and to have been fortunate as I have, and to have met James, obviously, find myself on D Style and with a couple sponsors, it's pretty crazy. I don't know. Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I know Miko would say we're glad to have you, man. So when he invited me, I had to think about it because I've never been in that position. I've always just been with Joe, with Bankai, or go with bodies. And when it came to driving, like I would, I would drive for it, or drive for his team and do my best. But now with D-Style and, having the shop backings that we do, it's nuts. It's that extra step. So it's crazy. Like going from last year to this year, I would have never seen myself being in the position I'm at now.
I was the same way. I made James wait like a week before, between him asking me and me thinking about it, and then we had a meeting, via phone call. I was actually driving to PDX at the time, and we had a conversation, and I was pretty apprehensive about it at first, but it seems like it's a pretty easy fit for me, so it's been cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy seeing so many teams pick up, and then all the new sponsors. Like we have our first Overdose US driver, Alfredo.
Yep.
That's nuts. Never,
it's very
none
cool.
of us ever saw that. Yeah,
that's like a lot of the Japanese companies are picking up, US drivers for the first time now.
Yeah, that's really good. And it was just we just had Miko for the longest time, so yeah, so it's nuts that they're actually now looking at us and actually picking some of us up. So that's really good, and I think that's like the goal for a lot of us, if that ever is a goal for some people. Definitely picked up by a big name, it would be good.
International travels sounds way more real for a lot more drivers now. Like last year was TDC.
Yep.
Like all those guys went to TDC, had a good time. And I think that opened up the window for a lot more drivers to go travel now.
Yep.
Well,
it
not
did.
now, but like it's more of an opportunistic thing.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yeah.
I would definitely love for a true, like, this has been the case in RC for a while, right? In a lot of sports, this is the case. And I don't mean to point anybody out too hard, but like obviously SDC, we're changing that. It's being called Worlds now, but it's not going to be truly a world stage, right? Like there will be a lot of international drivers that come out, but it would be nice to have like a lot more participation on a world stage for any of these competitions that happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it's hugely preventative. Like,
Yeah.
you know, traveling internationally is not cheap, and
Yep.
we're, you know, I'm in RC Drift because it's cheaper than like actual cars. So, you know, there's definitely some budget considerations, but
I think we'll get there. We're getting close. Past finals we had guys come from overseas, so it shows
Yeah.
the dedication of the guys out there to come out here. And then we
Yeah.
did that this year by we have our guys come out to go out to TDC.
Yep.
So it shows like worldwide we're all making a trip to.
Yeah, it is definitely,
make a
it's the
bigger impact.
situation. It's improving for sure.
Yeah, I know Europe had Worlds before. I know they were talks of bringing it back. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but they had a big thing going on out there too.
Yeah.
So hopefully they come back. Cause
I would like to see, like, you know, more European guys, more Australian,
Yeah.
more Japanese guys too. Like, I don't think we don't get a lot of that, which that makes sense. You know, it's probably like a weird, I don't know, like, it's kind of how we would feel if like there was a NASCAR World Championship in like some weird country. It'd be like,
In Italy.
well, hold on, yeah.
Well, F1 in Vegas, like through the F1 in Vegas was kind of weird, and when they announced that and they made it happen, like, I was watching, like, oh man, this is really cool, but F1 in Vegas,
Yeah.
weird. It was still a little weird. It was cool to see, like all the famous spots in the strip, part of the F1 track.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of like, if you were going to make a fantasy F1 video game, you would make a Vegas track or like a, you know, Grand Canyon track or something like that. But it's pretty cool. I mean, we have three F1 races in the States now, which is kind of crazy. You know, people complain about that.
Yeah.
But
And F1 in Vegas they're contracted for what, 10 years? I don't
it's
know.
pretty long. I don't remember the exact
Yeah, it's
number.
pretty long. So
Yeah.
F1's making a big splash in US now.
Meanwhile, they just denied one of our teams from entering, which is pretty annoying. So this is the RC Drift podcast, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Let me
Let's
tune
switch it
into
up.
UFC and Supercross.
I am not about UFC. Let's go hop over to the few product watch things that I have here, which is very few and far between. There's some of them that I'm not actually sure what I'm looking at. Like, if we can keep the different channels separated, that would be most appreciated.
That's kind of why channels exist, guys.
Did you see that Chris is running one of the new GRK chassis?
I did not.
Ooh, the limited edition one, like the numbered one?
I don't know if it's limited edition. I know it's red and it's very pretty.
We're talking about Chris, the establishment, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The #1 GRK fanboy in the United States. Where did he post?
I'd say that's debatable. I mean, Alex is kind of right there.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here? Let me just start throwing pictures up, and we'll see if it's new or not new. So what is this? This is a GRK,
GRK.
kind of a wrap up next Travis, Travis R.
Yeah, I think I saw on X or Twitter, if you guys don't want to call it Twitter or X, one of the photos they showed all the mods they're doing, and all the white pieces are the stuff coming up, all the chassis braces and motor position stuff.
It's very interesting that they still stick to the tub design chassis, and then they're modifying it like after the RER, right? They're very RER-esque about it in that way. But the funny thing here is that like all of these white pieces are probably going to be like machined aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which you can get it in any which colorway that they have available for it, and even that much more crazy. Yeah, I don't know, because it's like Wrap Up Next did it first, so what is this gonna be? Like, how different is this gonna be? Although, I guess, because it's not really showing the back very well. Or the front where the pinion is. Do you think there's an
idler gear or something?
Yeah.
I think there is. Just look at the spacing from how high the motor sits to actual spur. There's got to be maybe an idler gear. I had a wrap up next chassis and idler gear sat in between that.
Mm-hmm. There's this guy showing a GRK.
I kind of just feel like transverse motor is just not the way.
I think it's because there's no advantageous like mechanical advantage coming from it, right?
Yeah, and it's asymmetric in that way, right? Like the force you exert on the chassis will be asymmetric.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why all of our transmissions are buggy transmissions now. Oh, here is Lance's little fix for putting a YD2 slide rack on a GRK. This is apparently wonderful. No, it actually is. Alex runs this setup, or this is Alex's chassis. And it's been doing really, really well for him. I think
PDX
this
Alex,
is
right?
Yeah, PDX Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's driving good.
I think this is the longest chassis that he's had, like that he's kept with it. To be honest. Oh, here we go. This is as big of a picture as that top line sends out for some reason.
Oh, the top line transmission.
But yeah, this has been... The funny thing is, I've been waiting for this for so long, to the point that I don't care about it anymore.
Have you seen the top line transmission put onto the RC Art RDX chassis?
RC Art RDX chassis. No, I haven't.
Oh, it's baller. It looks nuts.
Doesn't surprise me. Okay.
Belt conversion.
So it's interesting now, right? Because we have a shark conversion with a shark belt conversion that you can add on to that. And then there's this. So it's kind of like, which way do you go? This might be lighter because it's a sandwich design, like a more lightweight sandwich design. And there's more options, I think, too. Like this can go for the RD 2.0, like fit on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just funny because like this, I used to check the RC Art website like maybe once or twice a month just to see if this was in stock, and it would like I could always find the spare parts for it, but could never find like the actual kit for it.
That's
and
funny.
Now that it's available, it is $250.
Oh, ooh, that's
oh man, for what it is,
yeah.
that hurts.
I don't think they're getting me on that one.
It's steep. It is very steep. But at the same time, like, well, no, because that is just the transmission. So yeah, that is a steep price for a transmission. Which I think, where is it? Oh, Sunny Body. Kind of fun. Probably on the next page. There was only one purple and one red one the other day. When I checked today, it was only one red one.
Mm.
Guy said that he bought one. So I'm wondering which one it was. Anyway, whatever. It is. What up? Hey, do you have any insight on when the overdose restock is going to be?
From what I heard, May, and then just yesterday or 2 days ago, they released their whole lineup of when they're dropping everything. So I guess by luck on you.
So everyone that's waiting for overdose stuff, just be a little bit more patient.
Yep, it's coming. Anyone that's still into overdose.
I'm deciding whether or not I want to pick up another aluminum trans case for my low motor Yogi. We'll find out.
Yeah, I got my GOM with the pretty much shelf queen at this point. So
to start with, so we're gonna bump over to roast the rig.
Oh,
Roast
look
my
out.
rig.
Look out, boys.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rewind. Super rewind. Where is it at? Did I not scroll up enough?
You can go all the way up, dude.
I didn't go all the way up. Hold on. Rewind. Did it open up? Open a browser. So this is the VX Stock Zero. This is what it looks like with the servo horn on it. Thank goodness they finally got rid of the weird, super weird servo horn design that they had, like where it was like a slider type of thing.
Yeah.
So this is cool. This is interesting. But.
Huh.
Here we go. Lance, our guy for Midnight Designs, now has shark upper and lower, or shark upper front and rear carbon shock towers. Guess how much these are? I think I have it in chat actually.
120.
I don't know.
Huh? How much, Albert?
120.
Whoa,
$60.
Lance,
$35.
you need to up your price.
$1, Bob.
$60.
$20 a
Back
pair.
that.
20 bucks?
That's you.
$20 a pair.
$60 is fucking expensive, I feel like, but that's not bad. 20 bucks.
Yeah, $20 is actually really good.
That's a
For-
steal.
Yeah, for front and rear.
Yes. Solid deal.
So hiccups on the rear, not necessarily hiccups, but things to know on the front here. Did I say rear? On the front is that you either need to be running the MC, the Rev D single side attached uppers, like where they bolt in, and you can thread them in on the shock tower, not the shock tower, but like that attachment, because this only has the two screw hole things. You can use the Yokomo hybrid shock tower, but you'll only be able to use the bottom holes at the moment, just because of a slight manufacturing.
Yeah.
What do you want to call it? We didn't pay
Mishap.
attention to that.
Mishap.
And
Didn't
then
happen.
all the rear holes pretty much line up for the rear shock tower. It's the same dimensions of a short, like the short Yokomo shock tower.
It's good.
So yeah,
$20, man.
Good deal.
it's like basically giving those away.
Deal right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we can move on to roast my rig. Let's get into it, you guys.
Where are we starting at?
I need to figure out where we need to start at. So today is the 9th. The 2nd would be the last of it, so we need to start on the 3rd. Coming in hot with Jake's.
We did
What
this
is it?
one,
Oh,
didn't
it's the Eurofighter chassis.
Didn't we do this?
Did we? It was
feel like we
posted
did
on
this.
the 3rd, so that would have been the next day.
Oh, then we didn't do it.
Isn't this the chassis for sale? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. He has so many things going on. Is he watching? Probably not.
No, they're probably all at like some bar or something like that with the
Well,
Canada guys.
they would be kind of just finishing up the track today, right now.
Oh, that's right, because they're laying clipping points right now. Oh, which, by the way, doors open at 10.
They sure do.
I don't remember if I said that.
And then hopefully they'll go out to dinner with the Canada guys.
Sure they will. They're here
I
for
really
a good
wanted to,
time.
but that is what it is.
I'm not seeing too much on this.
You know, it's basic. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Nothing
Very
too crazy.
I love. It's funny. Oh, it's always funny to see that stock Yokomo battery retainment when you have all these carbon fiber.
Oh
parts.
yeah.
Okay, but the worst of it is this motor plate. Like the stock YD2S motor plate,
Mm.
whatever it may be. This chassis was always interesting. Like Eurofighter Drift Factory. But
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it's kind of a
like-
weird name.
well, it's kind of along the lines of one of those chassis where like is it one of those chassis where they just made it look different?
Right.
I think they just so when I think I first saw it for the first time, I was thinking SX3, but they trimmed the fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just trimmed every unnecessary part. So they slimmed it down, made it nonchalant and clean.
Like
Yep.
the ability, like where they took down the front up here to
Yep.
open up the front arms a lot more.
hmm
And then they kind of did the same thing. But yeah. Okay, what else do we got here? The Rifoto. With a RMX 2.5. Have racing parts. Okay. It annoys me how much this front end is. Because it's not a cheap front end by any means, just because it's MST.
Okay, so I was gonna ask which part is MST, which part is racing.
Yeah, racing is just the upper and lower arms.
Yeah.
But that front bulkhead is not cheap.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm confused about the wings on the front of the chassis behind the front end, but what is that about?
Oh, that's a RMX thing. How they did their cross bracing or their bracing with the chassis.
So it's just like putting mounting points further out to support the bulkhead.
I believe so. I'm pretty sure that most of the RMX chassis will have that type of thing. DJ, can you confirm?
Sorry, the little wings on the side, and I think I may be lagging. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, all the chassis for the RMX have that. I think it's mainly just to help stiffen up with flex, but I don't know why they would do that. But I don't know. All of them have that right now.
A lot of red going on.
A lot
Yeah, I was
of
gonna,
red.
like the wires are cool. I feel like you could have done a better. Okay, and then so we could have done a better job with the routing, but also look at the capacitor wiring. That is not OSHA.
Oh, God.
I
That's
mean, as long
scary
as
looking.
as long as it's PVC, right? Oh no, the
No.
actual soldering.
Yeah. No, just the electrical tape job. You can't do that. Come on, man. With the blaze too.
Well, okay, so what triggers me here is that it was a prime opportunity to add a connector. Like, he could have done bullet connectors. He could have done, like, XT30 connector here. Clean it up a little bit. Or he could have just trimmed wires.
Yeah.
Because what I suspect, actually, I don't know, because the soldering job down here is kind of sketch. What I would have imagined is that he just snipped the wires from the stock capacitor and then just soldered onto those.
Yeah, but you can easily desolder them and then.
Right, which is why I'm looking at the slight mess down there.
Yeah. And then also, yeah, the whole forged carbon lower with normal carbon, everything else, you're mismatching, my guy. We gotta fix that.
See, it's a thing now. Like,
yeah,
like
if you're gonna get a forged carbon lower, then you're gonna have to match everything else. So good luck with that.
I'm actually curious if it is the upper might be forged.
No, I mean the wing, like the battery containment, the little side wings are not. The bumper.
Come in. Okay. TTO2.
Oh man.
Oh. Well, I will say this. Sean won at least one battle in that chassis, so this last Tuesday.
I almost bought one, actually. The hobby shop got them in stock. I'm like, oh, I have a TTO2. It is just sitting on the wall. It's not even on the wall. It's on the other side of the wall. Yeah, anyway.
Quick
I
update.
also-
I don't think anyone in this chat cares, but right now I got O'Malley 2-0 in the fightings.
Gotcha.
I want him to win, but I don't even know who he's fighting.
He's fighting Cheeto, Marlon Vera.
Got some glam pics. Sevron.
Yeah, I mean he's always posting these like perfectly manicured photos. We get it.
So look at this though.
Cool stuff.
So he's not using the branded Rev D spacer. He's just using some 2mm spacers there.
Mm-hmm.
And he painted his plastic. Were they always painted? I don't think they were. Not the last time that we saw it, at least.
I don't think so. It looks really good. He did a good job painting it.
Just watch Harvey paint it the what is it? The wrinkle red for Honda motors.
Right?
I can only imagine.
You're gonna have
And
to
the
get some new
7-Eleven.
tires if you ever come to PDX, though. Yep, there's another 7-Eleven. I like the weathered sign. That's kind of nice. Like the yellow tinge on the sign. That's a good touch.
Yeah, but the store is too clean.
Yeah.
Like,
Inside,
Way too clean.
so Chris has been definitely climbing the whole hobby, like as far as everything goes. He bought my ADX chassis, or is buying my ADX chassis. So he'll have that to play with.
Yeah, I mean he's come a long way. Wait, isn't this Jose?
Gypsy Danger? No, this is Chris.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get confused because they're cars.
Jose has a very similar like idea of a body.
Yeah. This is Chris he's participating in the wave of MST 86s. Hardcore.
Hot Boy Drift Crew.
Shout out
Okay.
to the Aerowolf for the
Yeah, I will say,
Aerowolf.
because Chris is probably like the best utilization and matching of these end caps, of these wing end caps on a body.
Right? Like the color wise, yeah.
Came out good.
Not to mention that he runs Aerowolf on his real car too.
Right. Yeah, actually Jake from Aerowolf actually came into my shop the other day. Because I had reached out to him like 2 years ago about carrying Aerowolf products in our store, and he never really got back to me. And then randomly we were eating lunch, and he came in because he buys plastic from our neighbors, and he came in, and usually at lunch, I'm like, when people come in the front door, I'm like, someone else, please go talk to that person. I'm eating. And then I started hearing the conversation that was happening, and I was like, wait a minute, I know who that is. Because I had seen him, at PDX, obviously. So yeah, we had a little talk. And...
Have you overheard any comments about like the whole RC drift scene?
As far as like,
just from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's super stoked. Obviously, like, I think some of the car stuff has sort of slowed down a little bit for him, so he's excited to find like a new market. And we've already, he had stocked PDX once, and he's already had to restock it, so that's pretty cool. And I think it'll do well for him. It's a perfect combination, right? Like, people love all the little scale accessories, and nobody else really offers anything like that. So basically every wing at PDX has them already.
I picked up a set.
Nice.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
It is not a bolt-on type of situation, or
No, it's
not
not.
a like a
No, correct.
easy
No.
fit
You
type of
don't
thing.
want to be drilling through that. You'll probably crack it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jose did.
Yeah. Well, maybe he just has that touch.
Speaking of Jose,
There's Jose. Okay, there we go. There's Jose. Oh, he got his stickers in. That's
he
cool.
got his stickers in, and they're
Good for him.
weeded. They're finally weeded. He posted a picture in the other chat with it not weeded. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's always fun to learn about that.
My
So
problem
much
is
lame flake.
yes. Yes. My problem with stickers right now is how much you waste in the process of it.
Yeah, you
Like-
can't really you have to think about a vinyl as like how long of a piece. Thinking about like how much you actually use in the end product is kind of like you're never going to be happy about it. You have to just think about how long of a section of the roll do I need to make what I want to make.
Especially for all of the one-off pieces, because it's not
Yeah.
like you can stack them right next to each other.
Yeah.
It's just that one thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We at my job, we make a lot of vinyls that take up 3 to 4 feet of vinyl, but the end result is like maybe 10% of the surface area of that piece that we use, and the rest of it just goes right in the trash most of the time.
Yep.
You kind of just have to think about it that way.
Like, wrapping cars is another thing that I think about too, and it's just like there are
Oh, yeah.
parts that are useful, and then there's a lot of parts that just nope, just to get the right pull on it. This is Gutter Sean in Discord. We've got a Hydra Shark running. It's a final form
The full final form, yeah.
with the shark
like it.
upper. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen so many of these.
Isn't final form meant to be like the inverted or the inboard like shocks?
Oh, the DDS
Oh.
shock setup.
The IFS shocks.
Yeah.
IFS, yeah.
I mean, supposedly, but no.
Comes down to personal preference. You want IFS or the traditional.
I feel like final form is like it's like at the end of Dragon Ball Z where they're just hitting like Super Saiyan, Ascended Super Saiyan, right? Like they're there. And then every single conversion after that is like God, Ultra Instinct, like, and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, Toriyama.
Oh man, yeah. So sad.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious of where they're gonna try to go with that, or if they're gonna try to go anywhere with that. Anyway.
Well, that's if we're gonna go into anime news a little bit, I guess you have to talk about Rooster Teeth shutting down.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh.
too.
I I feel like
final.
the writing was kind of on the wall for me for that. It's like not really surprising at all. Because it's just such a different company anymore. I didn't even really follow any of that so much. But
Not a full. I'm sorry, to cut you off. It's not a full final form. You got the lower arms.
Yeah.
oh,
This is Sean Lewis. I didn't realize, like,
Oh.
trying to keep
Sean
names.
Lewis's?
Yeah,
that
trying to
makes
keep
sense.
names right in between, like, this chat and then Discord and then
Right.
whatever, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The fun hassle.
Half final. Yeah. It still looks good. Still
Three
close to
quarters.
game. Yeah, 3/4 final.
Looks like he started off with a like an RD1, some sort of plastic chassis first
Yeah.
to come to this, because it's still running the narrow toe blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a final form shark, it's a final four shark. Not quite the end. Dad jokes.
Is this it's still gear? No, is it? Yeah, it's still gear drive.
Yep.
This right here, the whole rear shock tower not being threaded, I think is the biggest downfall of this rear shock tower.
Yes.
Like, it's such a minor oversight.
I think if I had to guess, it would be a situation where they feel like you'll adjust it so much that you'll strip it out eventually because it is aluminum.
There is that. I've definitely stripped out a good chunk of aluminum parts.
Right. I think that would just be. I think that's probably the main concern there.
There's just
them.
no good way to make it look
Yeah, it is tough.
unless
to
you're
have
using
them
TK
lock
blocks.
nuts. Yeah.
So this setup, if you're curious, Sean, how I do mine is I'm running the TK block on the rear. So I can have my camber link just right in front or right behind the shock, and it's really, really clean. That's when I had my shock set up this way. Now I have my shock actually in front of the shock tower and kind of sandwiched in between. I don't know if I like that too much. It's different. Do you guys prefer the ESC on the rear? Depends on the car.
It does depend on the car. I have owned a Shark at one point, and I tried both the rear and Sean's current position, which is what a lot of us did when the Shark first came out. I like it in the rear better on
Really?
the Shark on RC chassis.
That's fun.
So, yeah, I do like it in that position. For Super G though, I did try it at when I think I brought the Shark to a Sky Hunter one time. I had trouble. There was more, I'd say, push at Sky Hunter, but then at Super G within the rear, it felt so much more smoother.
That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, DJ Random Thought. I think I don't remember if it was Mile Higher. Someone's looking for spleen machine stickers, so you need to get on that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if
happen
I
to
need to
have
do it.
seen some spleen machine stickers today with my own eyeballs.
Oh, so
Uh-oh.
they exist?
I can either confirm or deny.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to do like just a spleen or if I wanted to like do spleen machine or yeah. I mean, I could go get some cute little spleen stickers, but
So touching on the weight balance thing a little bit, I think for most people it will just depend on preference, and it comes down to trying it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like for
definitely, yeah.
myself, I was definitely a rear ESC like 70-30. And so to make it clear, at the end of the day, what you're talking about when you're talking about rear ESC, forward ESC, you're talking about your weight balance, right? Like your distribution between your front tires and your rear tires, what your weight balance is. And I think that's a number that it will depend on the chassis that you're driving, and it depend on your personal preference. So for myself, with my Z, I was targeting more of a 70-30 setup, and I did have a rear ESC, but that was just a function of like where I had to mount parts to make 70-30 happen, right?
Yeah.
And when I first built the MD2, I did run rear ESC, and I was running like a 70-30 setup for a while, and then eventually I switched to a forward ESC, which resulted in like a say hi to River, everybody.
Hey,
Your
pup.
microphone is blocking.
Too bad. He's too short. It was rear, and then I switched to a forward, and that resulted in like a 65 75 setup. And I ran that for a while, and then when I first got my current electronics, I tried the rear again, and I was finding that it was just a little bit too much rear weight for myself. So then I switched back to forward, and so like right now I'm still targeting that 65 75, and it just feels better for me in that car. So it's so many things in this hobby are like asking, you know, what do you recommend, or what do you like, or what do you do? It's like so much of it just comes down to personal preference and the chassis that you have.
Just try it.
Yep.
You
Try
won't know
stuff
until you
and-
try it.
and use it. And same with like servo settings, gyro settings. Even if you have the same chassis as somebody, or even if you have the same setup entirely, like it's really not. It's not so easy as just giving someone settings and having that work for them.
On my Shark, I have it on the front side, just like you. Like literally the same exact positioning too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Tandem Tactics posted. This is fun. This is why I was laughing earlier.
I mean that body, and I withheld saying this when we were looking at Albert's, but that thing it looks like, I mean, it's just the nose on it. It's got a beak on it.
Yep.
It's got a huge beak on it. It reminds
Yep.
me,
Well, I mean, but
if you ever watched the trailers
Things
for a movie
flipping
called
around.
Strange Wilderness, when there's like a really goofy looking shark, it reminds me of that. It's a really bad reference, but hopefully someone out there gets it.
nope, it was right the other way. It's like we can be yellow Z buddies. Yay!
Yeah, building it was nice.
Big bird
Then
over here.
when you see that beak on it, you just man, you got to be cautious on your chase with that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
long distance, and it's right at that perfect like bumper height too.
Yep, it is.
I remember seeing the renditions of this, like the computer renditions of this, and being like, "Oh, what the heck are they doing?" And then seeing it in person, it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is still big, but it's fine. Okay, and RC Mitch with his Miata.
Mm.
There's our 7-Eleven once again.
Oh
See.
man, throw some over fenders on that thing. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Just throw some
true
over
though.
fenders.
Yeah, put the
it
fenders
looks
on and
really
you'll be good. More Airwolf and
Yeah. Oh man, Airwolf taking over the RC
yeah.
scene.
I told you, man, I was serious. I think every wing just about at PDX has those things on there.
The only downside is like this. Like,
Yeah, you get to see through it, and it's just
Yeah,
you could paint it.
it's okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think it's that bad. It looks fine.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, some people have large wings, and
like this.
I like to drive close, so I'm gonna rip those things off one day, and I don't want to hear any complaints about it.
Oh, if we hang like bells or anything like that, like we have the cans which are big enough, but if they're bells or anything small and
Oh, you're getting caught.
carries weight, yeah, they're getting caught. They're ripping stuff off. Always.
I got a new
Okay.
pop filter, guys. Dogtail.
Dogtail. Mine's over on the ground.
All right, final update from the UFC. It was a great fight, but our boy Cheeto he's roughed up. It was this one went, I think, to Sean. Sugar Sean probably got the dub on that one.
Okay, one thing that I did want to talk about tonight is just kind of trends that we've been seeing. We talked about the GR86. We've talked about kind of electronics, the whole Brevkey type of thing, right? And we talked about sponsorships and how like the choice for like chassis conversions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is going to be like the ideal chassis of choice for this year around? Because last year, basically, we saw the Shark hit the market, and that's pretty much what it's been, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has a Shark. Everyone's driving a Shark. Cool. So be it. But now we have so many opportunities for literally everything fits on everything.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I think it's probably still going to be very Shark heavy. But I definitely could see like a lot more like Kansai RDX conversions being popular.
Yeah, a lot of RDX conversions for sure.
Yeah,
Will be,
that would probably be. I would say RDX conversions will be the next like biggest kind of thing.
Yep.
Would be my guess.
And then of course we got the whole Overdose gang. They're coming up again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where were you guys 5 years ago? And now they're all coming back. So, but yeah, definitely Shark oriented heavy. A lot of DDS, like mix and matching of that to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely a lot of DDSS front ends for sure.
Yeah.
Even on any platform, those are going to
Yep.
be popular still.
I think only one of my chassis right now doesn't have a DDSS. And it's
I've never owned a DDSS.
I don't know. I like it. It's such an easy platform for me to use. It's just it gives me a lot of options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like RDX, right? So actually, even RDX, right? ADX Team AD just dropped or
Yep.
will be dropping their new whole front bulkhead, right? So it kind of reminds me of Team Jordan's steering setup, like that one single pivot point, with hints of a IFS suspension on it as well. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think that's what Chris is going to be doing with his Team 80 chassis once he gets it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going. This might be an old comment, but Jose said DJ should do an angry spleen smoking a cigar. And I can't get on board with that because I already did that with hot dog racing. So, dibs.
I mean, there is a follow-up. Not copying any ideas. Wink, wink. Sean, seeing a few guys also going to a LTS high battery
Yeah.
setup. Yep.
I haven't seen that too. Yep.
Lance is going to be running that. Jake might be running some sort of version of that too. Like, I don't know what his comp chassis is right now.
Yeah, we won't know what Jake's comp chassis is until round 1, I think. Or I think I'll know. We know what his main, chassis pieces will be. Stay tuned for that, I guess. But if you don't know already, but yeah, the exact configuration of everything definitely. He is the guy that will be up in the air until the last minute, I feel like.
As far as high or LTS setups go, I think they're here to stay. Like, I don't think they're gonna go anywhere anytime soon. I don't think it's gonna be a fad.
No, they're here. Brett dominated all last year with his LTS chassis. So.
Yep. And I'm a fan of it. Because a while back ago, it used to be like high CG cars were often related to like heavy setups.
Mhm.
So just trying to find the right springs, trying to find the weight combination of electronics and all that it just wasn't happening. But because Yokomo LTS, because Travis Travis 2 came out. Of course, there's RER Life. But now we can almost find like a high battery mount for almost every single chassis.
Any chassis out there can go high battery now.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of work to cobble together some parts to make that happen.
Which is also funny because we saw it like back in the day as well. Like back in FXX days, MST FXX days, it was either like rear battery because we needed as much weight as we could back there, or there were even high battery 3D printed battery mounts that were coming out too. So not a new concept, but like it was definitely the fad back then.
Yeah, and it only makes sense, right? Because in this sport, for the most part, we're dealing with significantly less grip than any form of IRL drifting. I mean, like I said, I always say I equate it to ice racing, but even like studded tire ice driving, I would say probably has more grip than we tend to.
Yep.
So and we're talking about very low weights.
Yep.
Relatively too. So it makes sense.
Oh, speaking of which, did I go over the statistics from the last competition?
I don't know if you did the last round.
Let me pull that up really quick because I know I had it pulled up. I just didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna take another break. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I did some. DJ Cameron's wondering what you are tinkering with. Is it still the RMX?
Yeah, so I mean right now I'll give you guys a little update. I don't want to lose this piece though. Pretty much I've got the rear end situated. Just need a couple turnbuckles and I'm gonna start working on the top deck and front end situation probably here in a bit or later tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, I do need some pieces for the drivetrain though, for the transmission. I need some idler gears and idler shaft and some bearings.
That
You know
one's
how it
not as
goes.
easy because
Nope.
RMX has dumb idler gear.
Yep, don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, so yeah. If anyone
Okay.
has any spare RMX parts, hit me up.
Okay, so let's kind of work our way to closing this session out here. But as far as the last competition, and I'm not talking about like our weird thing that happened on the 24th, the last round. So we had a total of 20 competitors, or at least 20 chassis that I see that are registered here. Guess what the number one chassis was? Albert, DJ.
Oh, I have a feeling I already know this one. For our region, probably the RDX.
No.
Oh.
Not the RDX. I would say then MT1.
Oh, big no.
Oh.
And it's okay.
Shark.
So
There's a
yes,
shark. Yeah.
there were
Yeah,
a total
Mercedes
of
shark.
7 sharks. That is 35% of the entries.
Golly.
So we had 7 sharks, Logan, at the last competition.
Yeah.
Coming in hot in second place was 5 RDXs, then 2 MD1s, and then a handful of just single chassis. So 1 MD2, 1 SD2, 1 YD2, 1 MC1, 1 MC2, and 1 Rhino Max. And I don't know why I didn't count the Galm.
Is
Wait.
anyone driving a Gom up there?
Oh, no, because Cameron drove his Beast Mode RDX.
Oh.
Or was it Judd's Beast Mode RDX?
Yeah, it
I think
was.
so, yeah. Yeah,
So
there was
that's-
no Galm.
I mean, that's exactly along the lines of what we were saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Judd was also taking the overall weights of the chassis as well.
Mm-hmm.
So minimum weight was from an RDX at 1311. And then the heaviest was, I guess, who won that round? Of course it'd be James. James has the lightest chassis out of the entire crowd.
Does he? His RDX?
His RDX.
I mean, and that thing's like bone stock too.
It is bone
Yep.
stock.
Not for long though.
Is he's actually gonna change it up?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
And then the heaviest chassis, without question,
Yeah.
is the Shark. And
Yeah.
whose Shark
Yeah, I
is
mean,
that? Alex's
something-
Shark.
With the stock shark deck, probably.
I don't know if his is stock or not. I don't know, but 1569 is the heaviest chassis.
1569.
Average weight 1437, which is
What's your? We always talk about weight on the show, Albert. What's your weight situation?
No.
You already told us 70-30.
Yeah. Let me actually get you my official weigh-in from Super G round 1. I haven't really changed anything. Where's it at? And going through all my photos and like car stuff and my daughter now. Tons of photos.
I did find it funny as I got into RC Drift. The amount of photos that I have in my camera roll is kind of insane now.
Yep.
just because of RC Drift.
Yep. I used to not really take pictures of anything, and now I'm constant. I mean, I took pictures of some stuff, but now it's like all just drift stuff.
The
And I don't
last
even post
picture,
any of them. It's just like,
last picture of my camera roll is cat scratches on my Corolla.
you got a lot of neighborhood cats.
No, I think it is just the neighbor cat.
That's the picture I have is of a nutria from our walk today.
So my chassis 7030 weighed in at 1380 total weight.
Okay. So is that something do you like specifically make it that weight, or is that just what it weighs, or do you want it to be lighter?
Honestly, for the weight, for me, anything under 1400 feels good. And as long as I hit the 7030 bias, I'm fine. Yeah, but definitely try to keep it under 1400. For the most part is where I aim for.
Yeah. Just because you like the way that feels more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about what I'm at, I think, now.
That in itself is still a personal preference.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's,
Does-
I think probably total weight, there probably is a speed thing to it, some kind of aspect of speed,
Mhm.
but the jury's still out. I always, when I know I came in hard on the podcast of like, light is right. And then I think without any type of like actual measuring or scientific approach to that, I don't think I'll ever be certain.
No, I mean, there's truth to it, right? Like, if you want a locked-in car, like that feels locked in and that just goes where you want it, then I think that light is the way to do it. It just loses all of its playfulness. Like,
Mhm.
it goes where you want it to, but that's about it.
I think a heavier car, having driven like a 550 and a Futaba servo now, I think a heavier car might be a little bit easier for the electronics to like keep it stable, because there's less they have less command over the chassis, so that it kind of a heavier car is kind of a natural damper in a way.
And there's a lot of different ways that you can tune your front end for that too. Which actually, I guess going back to it, Albert, on your chassis, are you tuning your front end for more roll, or are you tuning it to just kind of be pretty solid in the corner?
I
That didn't
tuned.
make any sense at all.
No, it made a bit of sense. So I did tune for more a solid feel and something more precise. I know. I think you can see the photo, or just on mine. I did get the RDX aluminum yeah, it's all aluminum already up there except for plastic. So it's more for precise feel. It does add more weight for sure, and you do feel it coming from their plastic to this. So it does make a big difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Justin and I were working on the front end of my low motor Yogi,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get more roll induced in it to keep in the corner and hold it better, which we got it there. And then we had to pack up.
I was watching like a video that Chelsea DeNofa had posted today, and he was driving his Notch Fox Body, and he made a comment about how, because it was such a light car, that when you do provide steering input, it just does what you're telling it to do right away. And I think that that can be desirable for us, but sometimes it can also be, it can make the car harder to drive, which I think that's definitely a fine balance. I have to always add the caveat of, like, as a competitor, competitive driver. But like, yeah, it's always a challenge of like easy to drive so that you can lock in on the walls and not worry about hitting them, but also being fast, right? So it's always a fine balance you play of like,
Yep.
setting the car up for speed versus consistency.
100%.
On the nose.
Yeah, I think for me, I get too focused on the setup of just trying to get forward momentum, right?
Yep.
That a lot of the times I'll just forget about the front end
Yeah.
until it's like the last thing that I need to worry about.
We see it with cars all the time. Like with Justin, I don't necessarily lack speed coming onto a straightaway. It's just in the turn, I can't. Once we enter a turn, with most people, I can just pull right up to him. But with Justin, it's just like he can enter the turn and keep so much speed and continue that it's like I never have the chance to pull up on him. And it's not the straightaway where he's making that space. So then
Could for you be a driver mod, you think? Like, is it something like when you get on, because for me on a chase, I'll be right up on someone, but the second we initiate and go into a drift, I'll come up right in and pitch in. But then there's always that hesitation, like I want to pull back. So I will, myself, I'll pull back because once we get out, we'll put it in a Super G's track. When you come out and that sweeper for the last round, you come out to a bit of a straight, it turns into like a race. So
yeah,
like it's when you want to dig. I don't know. It's a fine balance, like we've been saying. So
yeah.
Well, just that phrase, when you want to dig, right?
Yeah.
For a person that actually understands what that means, like for what we're doing, that's the world. That is a world of difference. Because if you can't anticipate that, you're already behind.
Yep,
for sure. There's, I'm the first guy to tell you that the secret of speed is in you, right? Like it's in yourself as a driver.
That's deep.
This is the secret. This guy right here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, there's definitely something between me and Justin as far as driver experience. Obviously, he's a much more experienced driver than me. But I do have to wonder like what I could do to improve that corner speed, because I think the biggest indicator for me is that I don't really have that issue with anybody else. But yeah, probably. I mean, I could definitely just get better. That would help.
Or maybe just driving more tandems with him, get to feel out. But
the location is the problem.
Yeah, we're geographically challenged on that front.
Yeah,
but
that's at his home track, right? He's up in Seattle.
He's in like Tacoma area.
I guess it's technically his home track just because it's the closest official track to him. But yeah, they don't make it down. They make it down about once a month. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I know Mika wanted to shout it out on air, but we will be up there. Me and him will be coming
Yeah.
up, so
In
be a good
July.
trip.
Oh,
I
now,
get to
excited
surprise
for
with you
that.
guys.
now it's official. It's not a secret
No, it's
anymore.
official. Yeah,
It's official.
it's
We're looking
official.
for rooms. We got our flight, so now it's just trying to find a place to stay while we're out there.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend staying more in the Beaverton side if you can, not on the other side, for sure. Semi, mostly unofficial, but there is a rumbling of a PDX NorCal trip at the end of May.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens there. I definitely, personally, I'm going, like, for sure, but we'll see who else can join me.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but we're
NorCal,
gonna hit.
man.
We're
All
gonna
the
go
track
see.
blew up,
Yeah, we're gonna go see Josh at pit stop, and then obviously the new A main track is going in. I think they're opening that up this week.
Oh man, I saw
way
those
up.
photos.
Yeah, that place looks insane. But that's way up in Chico, and then we'll do a day at Rolling Garage. So should be cool.
John Lewis, that's where I'm struggling. I'm learning to keep. Here, I'll post that. It's where I'm struggling. I'm learning to commit more to keep proximity. I don't think I have enough experience to know yet if it's the car, so I'm working on the commitment side. So speaking of commitment, you know how we have cans that are in clipping points? I used to have the biggest problem of like, I was so intent on hitting the can that I'd stop driving at the can instead of driving through the can.
You gotta ignore the cans, in my opinion. Like, just don't even think about them, and you'll hit them.
But they're so critical to the commentary.
It does look way better when you hit the can versus when you don't. I have an issue with one of the cans that we have where I tend to like, I can hit it fine, but I tend to like, I have times where I hit it perfectly into the wall so that I actually like it actually, I feel like a reverb force from it, and it messes up my line, obviously. I don't know.
When it actually throws the can in the air at some substantial...
Well, what happens is I perfectly pinch the can between my car and the wall.
Oh,
So it's just like I'm hitting the wall.
gotcha.
It's just that turn, the way it's set up. I tend to do that. But, you know, it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said I. Was that you, Albert?
No, it was me.
No, that was you.
I was just going to continue talking about cans, but nobody cares about that. So.
Which, hilariously enough, like, I think we've gone through enough cans that we have a favorite can. Like, the Red Bull cans don't
The Red
be so
Bull
hot.
cans.
You don't like them, or you do like
No,
them?
I do like the Red Bull. It has that. There's a certain like ting noise it hits when you hit it just right.
I think I would like a Red Bull can more than what we
Yeah,
tend
it
to use. At
reverberates
PDX.
throughout the track. We did a RC Car World at their old location. We had a can.
Yeah.
And we just had like a regular soda can, like a Pepsi can or a Coke can or something. And then I remember when we beat that can up so much, we swapped it out. Someone had a Red Bull can. We put the Red Bull can there. The first hit someone did on it, we're like, oh man, that sounded really nice. Let's
Better
keep this thing
sound.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that it's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, I have a video of Hobby Expo, and it starts off with, I think, a brand new can. I don't remember which can it is, but it was a brand new can, and by the end of the video, like, one of the mid clips in it, like, the can is crumpled, like, completely crumpled, just from car hits. It was pretty epic. All right, you guys. I think we are a little bit... Well, we're out of topics. That's one. So, a reminder, as long as we keep topics and ideas, like, actually on topics and ideas...
We'll go until
Severon,
1 a.m.
Well, yeah. Then, yeah, like, I want to keep on pulling topics from you guys because it's interesting. And it keeps it public, and it gives me a lot, well, it gives us, not me, a lot more to talk about and more openly about.
Right now, there's one topic in there that I'm seeing that I don't think we can really cover on the show.
The fingerprints? or the thing above the fingerprints?
Yeah, that. It's not that kind of show.
FDR regulations. Is that a thing, Rob? That'd be interesting. I think we talked about it one
We
time
could.
before.
So this is kind of a late call here, and if we want to just wrap up the show, that's fine. But we could talk about the huge major FD changes.
Oh,
But
I
that-
say not.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
save
we'll
that for
skip
next
that.
week.
Save
Maybe.
it. Yeah, you guys can save it for the next one.
That's a long one. That's
That's a black hole. We're just gonna-
they went crazy in Formula Drift this year.
I just tried to do a work macro on this keyboard. Yeah, that didn't work. Anyways, okay. DJ, you almost done?
Did you finish?
No,
what are you
but
driving
we're-
tomorrow?
We're working on this. I got the top deck off and I'm gonna put on to the bottom one, but you know, I'm missing one of the little, I don't know what they're called, the bushings for the
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Plastic spacers.
But yeah, you know, MST part, so it's not gonna really line up with anything that anyone really has. So
I think I got you.
ooh, it's the thicker side, not the thin side. FYI.
What?
They have two. Yeah, they have two different sizes. Let's see if I can get this up. You can see
Yeah, I
how.
don't think that's.
Oh,
no, okay,
oh,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
those. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
got you.
No, I need those. I think I
Okay.
have some in my bag, but I think they're for the buggy, so I don't know if they'll actually fit.
What are
I
you
know
gonna
they won't
drive
fit.
tomorrow, DJ?
I'm driving my MD2 because
Hell
that's
yeah.
feeling pretty dialed now
Hell yeah.
after
Oh,
coming
crap, I
back from
forgot.
AZ.
You just came back from the tandem dojo.
Yeah, coming
Watch
back
him
from
just do
tandem.
like a
Those guys
smoke
hooked me
show.
up. Shout out to Kalai. He helped me out get my car
Yeah.
all dialed up.
Thanks, Kalai.
But yeah,
Thanks,
thank you very
Kalai,
much.
for making DJ's car better. Thanks, Kalai.
Well, wait, we don't know that yet. You don't know that yet. He hasn't driven yet.
Based on my experiences at Tandem, if anyone at Tandem helped DJ with his car, I'm gonna be very upset with the way it drives tomorrow.
Yeah, they got it the old tandem hookup. I mean, obviously there's a couple things that we didn't touch. Would be like my electronics for motor and ESC, like any of those settings, and toe and camber. We didn't mess with any of that. It was mainly just servo and gyro stuff.
Mhm.
So
But you drove with all the heaters, so you drove with Cody. So
yeah, I got a couple laps with Cody on Wednesday. Ty. There's so many guys. I think Austin was one of the
Austin.
other guys.
Yep.
You know, obviously,
Brennan Kalai.
Yep, obviously those two.
And Ron.
D'Anthony.
I mean, Ron's a great
Yeah.
driver as well.
There's just so many cool rad drivers out there. You know, they all throw down, and you know, good group of or good community out there.
Yeah, they got a really great thing going out there for sure.
Yeah, they do. I went there and dude, their track. At the time, it felt good, and now that they're on the J tile, it's just elevated all their game.
Yeah,
Everyone
Ron.
out there
Yeah,
dialed.
I mean, obviously, shout out to the original owners, but Ron has really made some great changes and is really putting in the effort to improve the
Yep.
situation out there for sure. And it's
Yep.
sick to see.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I think that's it. We are gonna shut it down. Thanks for coming and tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Albert, where can
Thanks,
we
everyone.
find you on the socials?
Find me on my IG on bert.rcdrift, or my official non-RC one is this Albert MF Martinez. Find me on those IG stuff, and I'll be on there.
And obviously, Team D style. Shout out.
Oh yeah, definitely Team D style. Shout out to Team D style.
It's like, oh wait, oh that's a thing again. No, thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, like, subscribe, share, do the things, all that fun stuff. And next week, I need
You
to
got
start.
next week.
Someone good, I'm sure.
Hopefully better than me,
calendar.
man. I feel like I let you guys down.
No. No way. No way.
Oh, actually,
Surprise guest.
it's Kevin.
Ooh.
Kevin
RCO?
Pan, RCO.
Oh, Oh man.
So it's hilarious. It works out perfectly because our 8 p.m. is his 8 a.m.
Yep.
Excellent. In
Perfect.
Dubai?
What doesn't work out perfectly is scale drift because they're 8 hours ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we got some East Coast guys like
Yeah.
Alex. That's gonna be rough for them.
So we need to figure out when we want to try to do scale drift because it'll probably be like a Saturday afternoon thing or like a Friday afternoon thing.
I can do that.
But yeah, that'll be
But then
interesting.
We can talk about that.
Yeah. Then Alex Jordan, Justin Wilming is on. We're gonna do
A full episode with Justin, I think, is merited for sure.
on the 30th. Then I have my buddy Spencer on the 6th. Moving in. Yeah, I won't talk about anything else.
But yeah.
But yeah, we've got it. The stream's rolling in. So
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Definitely, I'm down to always do it again.
on.
Of course.
Show me an invite, man.
And it's kind of cool because you were added to the calendar before I was on the team.
Yeah.
And then it just worked out. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
worked out
stoked.
perfectly.
Actually, I think what would be cool, and we might want to talk about this later, is like actually having like full team kind of like sessions go on.
We gotta talk about this. Once we end here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'll try to
definitely
figure
throw
out.
me in there. Yeah. I'm down to join that. Just hit me up, throw me on there, and then I can help you guys out too or whatnot, or we'll get something going.
On.
Yep. Got to put my streaming setup to use. This is like actually the first time it's got like really good use.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. All right.
Right.
Thanks again,
All
you
right.
guys. I'm gonna hit
Thank
the end
you.
button.
Stay on, Albert. We'll talk a little bit.
Have a
Later.
good evening.
Later, guys.